We're back at it.
What's up, everybody?
What is this episode? Fucking
12.
12.
Oh, fuck.
Is
13?
it 13? Shit.
No, I think
Shit.
It's 13.
Yeah,
it's
it's
13.
13. Fuck.
Wow, you guys picked the best number.
Here we go with the nonsense.
You gotta hit those sirens, yo. Gotta hype them up.
Welcome to the Lost and Talks podcast, the most lit podcast in North America's largest urban park.
You read
That's facts, yo. Look it up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
facts, actually. So you guys got to look that up.
Yeah.
Your fun fact for the day.
It's true. It's true.
We're just here chilling, yo. We're all just sipping on something a little different tonight, you know. Mandem have a Losty. What do you got over there?
A Leon.
I got a good old this man's drinking on the
Shout out to
Leon/Leon's.
McLevin and Markham, you know.
We
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
we like thought it was like a bootleg Leon's mug, but then we find out the other side's French.
Yeah.
Apparently the French cut the S, and we're like, okay.
Yeah. Leon.
That's so
instead of
crazy.
Leon's.
Actually, I just remembered I actually picked this up.
Yeah.
Like, you know when they were giving away free stuff?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to go there and like. That's when it was.
I was saying,
that's
I think
that was when life was a
literally
real
The
struggle.
scooping mugs.
I think literally all my mugs are just free giveaways. Like I just have random mugs that people give, like companies just give away for promotion. I don't buy mugs.
I
Like
don't have no mugs.
like I started doing the mug, you know, just so to save a little bit of money on coffee in the morning.
That's
Better.
good,
It's
yo.
like $2-3. You know, I don't have to spend that. Just make it at home. Like
Yeah, eh?
fuck it, yeah.
That's what you're on, eh?
That's what I'm on. Yeah, I'm
Shit,
on that
yo.
saving money life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, yo. Welcome to the Lost and Talks podcast, yo. We're back at it again, episode 13, right? You know how we do it, man. It's been a minute. We've been saying we're gonna have this man here. We finally got the opportunity to. You know, I don't do introductions for Mandem, so
Gotta do it
Go
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Sampreeth. I'm sure y'all have heard about me before. What should I say about myself? It's kind of I'm a part of the squad.
yeah,
I've known Jamal since grade 1.
yeah.
Since I slapped him up in
Chill. Gang.
Mortal Kombat.
And what? Oh,
Street
okay.
Fighter.
like
Super
every game.
Mario World.
So
even
you're
though
saying
you
like
don't
every-
even slap another man in that.
Yeah, you can't even slap a man in Super Mario World.
Wait, isn't that like a cooperative game? Like how you slapping mans? Like I made
You know when you're Mario and you just don't die? The
Yeah.
the other
Yeah,
man
yeah,
can't
yeah,
play. Just can't play.
Yo, but like it's not fair. Like Luigi sucks.
No,
He
he's
could
the
jump like
sickest.
really high though,
He's
right?
nice.
He had like a different ability, right? I
I
swear.
In certain games, yeah.
Was it that game? He
Super-
could
it
jump
was- it was
higher
in
than
Super
Mario.
World though.
Yeah.
One of those ones.
Anyways, yeah, I'm a filmmaker, and I guess we'll get into it. But I'm also a medical student.
Yes.
That's the summary.
Shit.
Great. Thank you for the introduction. So we've been talking about having Sampreeth on the pod. He's basically, if you will, he's part of the pod. He's just busy.
Yeah.
He has other
Yeah.
shit to do. So yeah, it's nice to finally have you here, sir. Thank you for stopping by.
Respect.
We should get like an
I
applause or
appreciate
something.
it. Yeah, you'll run it.
Yeah,
Do we have the applause on there?
No, we don't.
Of course.
We have
we have the Bane.
we have Bane.
Of course. We also
You
have
get a Harry Potter.
That was
That's actually really.
that's real. Yo.
That's
No one's gonna understand that.
That's
but
hard
us.
as fuck right there. All right, yo, let's let's go with the basics, yo. Let's just get right to the shits.
The shits.
Yo, Kevin hit 100K. Yo. What the fuck?
That's on R&B Uncut, the very first episode of collaboration. I feel like that's like
I couldn't hear shit.
I'm saying, I feel like that's just talking over me
Yeah, it's
right
just
now,
loud as fuck.
killing our ears. That's our collaboration little series with R&B Radar, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And the first episode hit 100K today,
Yep.
and that was honestly really impressive.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
gonna lie, I was sure. I mean, you're not gonna when you drop something, you're not gonna expect it to hit 100K like
Exactly.
Yeah,
out of
that's actually
nowhere.
crazy.
Like that's wild.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah,
What was I gonna say? Yeah, last night I was running that still. I saw it was at 98K,
trying to get it up there.
98, 99K. I was like, yo, fuck it, yo.
feel like-
I just ran it back a couple times.
I feel like those last 1,000 views are just people refreshing.
Yeah, yo. I was like, yo, fuck it, yo. Who's out here judging?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't do it. You know?
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
You just want to play your part. You actually feel good when you do that.
Yeah, exactly, yo. So I'm happy
Yeah.
we hit that. I think it was me still.
Were you the 100,000 viewer? Yeah.
So yeah, that's lit, yo. So yeah, shouts out Tommy from R&B Radar. Thanks again for linking up with us and helping us make this whole thing happen. Shouts out Kevin, congratulations, bro.
Sure. Yeah.
This is lit, yo.
Long time coming.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, this is late, yo. It's a first.
And,
Yeah,
It's the first.
It's weird because it's like we knew that we were gonna get here, but it's just like we didn't know we were gonna get here.
Yeah,
exactly.
It almost it doesn't feel significant. to
No,
me. I'm
yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like
What
as
is
we
next?
weren't
Yeah.
knocking off these milestones, we were just setting larger and larger goals. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like we're catching up now, but it's like things. It's still. I mean, it's still crazy though. Yeah.
It is. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know how do you, like. I guess it always does feel good as an artist to get views.
Yeah.
But like I'm not the artist per se in this case. So how's it feel? Because for me, I'm just like, maybe it's a good thing, but like the metric didn't matter. You know, I saw the 100K. I was like,
Yeah.
like, did it reflect?
Yeah.
On anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I'm more impressed by the other things Kevin does.
I feel.
I guess.
I feel.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Because again,
Yeah.
we know him, so it's just like
Yeah.
we know what's really going on
Yeah.
behind the scenes and whatnot. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because it's kind of it's a weird video for it to be the one that took off.
Yeah.
That's true.
Especially considering the other things we've done, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, you know, it's good exposure, and it is leading to a little bit of exposure to other things.
Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of the time that is what happens.
Yeah.
You could work so hard on a video.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna run a basic amount of views.
Yeah.
And that one regular ass
Yeah.
video you
Seems
do.
like it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the most views I've ever gotten on YouTube were quick little short clips
Yeah.
of like my boy fucking falling when we're fucking doing parkour.
Mm-hmm.
But if I post up a music video or
That
I
you
post
spent.
up
Yeah.
a film or something, not running those types of views.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But either way, not to take away from anything, but yo, that 100K, yo, it's lit, yo.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's really dope.
Soon everybody's gonna be changing, yo. Soon you're gonna see us with new gear.
Yeah, yo. When the YouTube paycheck comes. in.
Attitudes are gonna be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be different. But yeah, shout out again to R&B Radar, Tommy, everybody that was involved, Gray, yeah, everyone. So
Yeah.
thanks for if you watched the video, thanks a lot. If you didn't, go check it out. I don't know what else you're doing. Actually, don't even check it out. I hit 100K.
Exactly.
So
Fuck your videos
yeah,
now.
fuck what you have to do. You're too busy to watch this
Yeah.
shit. Fuck you. Yeah, because we already hit 100K without you. So yeah, yo, I'm just happy to see, you know, stuff coming together. And like we were saying before, it's been a really productive year. And this just goes to, you know, just show it. And
Yeah.
it's a great way just to end off the year as well. You know what
That's
I mean?
not even just the year, the decade. Isn't that crazy? I was
Yeah,
thinking
you're
about it today.
facts.
It's like we built from the beginning of this decade to now. We
Facts.
built everything from the like the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I wasn't even a musician at the beginning of 2010. You know,
Facts.
so it's like
I didn't think about that.
to go from that to the end of the decade, like ending it on this note. That's really sick.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Actually, can I say something about that? That's really
hop in, man.
because you know last like whatever 2 weeks ago you guys were having that conversation about like artists need to view their art, their craft as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And for me it was like you have to take it to that next level too, where it's just like you have to view the art as like a lifetime pursuit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like I believe I'm gonna make my best work when I'm 70 years old, and I fully embrace that, and like I don't feel that pressure to do it right now, and
Yeah.
you know it means so much more. It's just like so much more than a business. So the fact that it was like, yeah, we built this over 10 years, it's like that, and that's nothing. That's nothing
That's
to me.
light, yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
It's
no,
like it's nothing
because for some
really.
other people, because like as soon as I thought about it, I'm like, is that a long time? Because there's people who come out and it's like, oh man, you know, I only started making music like a year ago, 2 years ago. But obviously, those are the people whose careers usually don't like last long because
Yeah.
they don't start their career. And then if you catch a hit in your first couple of years, you're not thinking about longevity. But because we spent an entire decade building this, we know that it's like 10 years is nothing. Like the next 10 years is going to be like, there's going to be so much growth, but also it's just going to feel like this, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're thinking in terms of decades rather than just like months or years, you know?
Months to years and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, man. It's just it's a great feeling though, you know? It's lit. But whatever.
Yeah. It's,
You know.
Honestly, in like
the
2
next
minutes,
one.
I'm like, all right, I'm bored, yo.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what I'm
where's that
saying.
mill, yo?
Yeah,
Fuck,
where's that
yo.
mill? You
where's
know what
that
I mean?
mill,
Like,
yo? Where's a half
whatever.
mill, then the mill?
On to the next one.
It's crazy. You
Whatever.
think, yeah, you get those views, and it's like, Next goal.
You know what
Let's
I mean?
go.
Like it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. We hit 100,
Yeah.
but it just means all right, cool. Like
We
what are
haven't
we doing
started.
next? You know,
Like, we haven't
that's
even
all I'm thinking about. I'm like, hey, what's coming out next? What are we gonna work on next?
Yep.
What's the next thing to hit 100? You know what I mean? What's the next
Yeah.
thing to hit 5? What's the next thing to hit a mil?
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? When's the next big bag coming in? That's what I'm wondering about. But hey, that's just
That's what
life.
I'm thinking too.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah,
again, thanks to everybody. We really appreciate it. Again, more hot shit's gonna be coming soon. And on that note, with Kevin, December 19th, make sure you pull up.
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow next week.
Because you'll be posting
Oh
it next
shit!
week. So
Yeah, tomorrow.
yeah.
So when you yes.
When you're listening to this, the show's tomorrow. So I hope you have your ticket or you're buying it literally right now
Yeah.
as you listen to
And
this.
I hope you're listening to
You
it live.
should already
You're listening to this on the day of.
should already have your ticket bought,
Yeah.
yo. By
Yeah.
now, when you're listening to
Yeah,
this.
you really should have your ticket. If you don't, then make sure to hurry up and cop it. We have a man with 100K views walking into the building and performing. Like, I don't know what else you need. Like, I don't.
Emmanuel got 100K. Kevin, like,
Yeah, you know, I don't know what else. I don't know what mans are asking for. It's gonna be a crazy lineup. We have a lot of talented people coming out, not just Kevin, but whatever. We're just focusing on Kevin, but a lot of other talented people are gonna be pulling up. Just make sure you guys pull up, catch a vibe. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, is that the basic stuff I had to touch on?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
That's all the news.
Yeah, you'll run it, man.
If you will.
I was gonna add one point too.
Yeah.
With like, you know, people have been hitting me up like randomly, and most of the people are just like, they're aspiring musicians and stuff, right? And you can tell that they want to ask if they could collab or if they could get like a beat or they could send a beat or whatever. And it's funny because like I can remember 5 years ago being in that position where I want to message somebody who I think has more clout than me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now I'm in that position where people are looking, and then I had to take a step back and be like, oh wait, like these people are looking at me like I'm somewhere. And I'm like, yo, I'm still where you are.
Yeah.
I just have it a little bit more figured out, but I'm still as broke as you.
Maybe even broker. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you never know.
Yeah.
And that's why you just focus on you, focus on your bag. Cause like, telling you, man, like, I'm not.
And don't rush things either.
Yeah,
you know?
like,
yeah.
I might sound like I'm about to talk shit about Kevin, but it's like, again, at the end of the day, like, you meet Kevin, he's a regular dude. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, just because he's doing numbers or he's this talented and this is what's happening, it's all cool. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on yourself sometimes and not put too many people on that pedestal. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, me and Kevin were talking about it on the car ride the other day because obviously you guys ran into Drake and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was just asking myself,
Drizzy.
That's another story.
That's a whole another story. Shit, we'll get into that.
We're gonna just know.
But obviously, I was questioning myself. I was like, if I saw him, am I running after him and taking a pic?
Yeah.
And like deep down, I believe I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Because I'm just like, nah, like I don't respect you on that level right now. And we talked about it. It was like, okay, obviously people are gonna respect him because of his metrics and his business acumen and whatnot. And I definitely appreciate his impact on the culture.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, I value an artist based on their art, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so if they're making good artwork, then you're gonna have that place in my hierarchy of people I respect or whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you're an artist and you're not meeting the standard that I have for you, then it doesn't matter what else you do, right? When you walk out of your Maserati or Maybach or whatever it is,
I'm on the same type of wave. I get it. I get why people get hyped, but they're at the same time, they're not thinking about it that much. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that even like just going off of that kind of topic, if you will, of people getting excited when they meet celebrities or whatever. Like, I'm a man that, for example, Eminem. So many people love Eminem. I don't give a fuck about Eminem. Mainly because I haven't cared about Eminem since what? I don't even know what album it was.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's been a
Like,
while, yeah.
Like a long fucking time. His last good album dropped a while ago.
Shit.
And personally,
Yeah. A lot of people
are gonna
disagree
start
with that
hacking my
shit.
Twitter and
I
shit.
think objectively
Yeah.
too. People like people
Yeah.
shit
I
on
think-
Eminem now. Like,
I think
They
Eminem
really
fans
should.
are in denial.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's so many people that hype him up so much
Y'all are
and
in
stuff
denial.
like that, and I'm like, dude, I get it. He is a legend. He's done this and that. You know what I mean? He's broken records. Blah 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 blah. But I am not able to respect him on the same level that I used to because of his work as of recent. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I get what you mean. And I feel the same way about Drizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I fuck with Drizzy, but
I feel that.
we need something. You know what I
And
mean?
and that's what we talked about too. Is like if you're a good artist, and then you're doing all this other stuff,
Yeah.
and like you came from an interesting background, and the other parts of your life add to your art, then you get extra points for all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But if your art sucks,
You shouldn't get that qualification.
you don't get all the
Where,
extra
like,
points.
People are loving you just for who you are.
Yeah.
because your
Yeah.
art didn't deserve, like, it didn't earn that in the beginning. In the first place. Yeah.
And so the bottom line is you can't love them. You can't love celebrities for their persona. You have to judge them by their work.
By their actual work.
Yeah.
And it's okay to judge them by their work because that's what they're offering up to you. And as a fan, it is your job to let them know when their stuff is shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when it comes to Eminem, I feel like his fans are not doing that enough.
No.
You know what I
hell
mean?
no.
Definitely not. Like, even this, oh, fuck, I don't even want to talk about this. I'm going to touch on it one time.
All right.
This whole Nick Cannon shit with the whole
Oh,
weak
God.
ass diss that he dropped. Like, I don't know why people are even entertaining this shit. You know what I mean?
That was a
Like,
waste of time, yeah.
One, it's Nick Cannon.
It's a joke.
Nick Cannon's doing his own thing. I don't fuck with him as a rapper though, but he's doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's not a rapper.
I'm not gonna consider him for his art, if you will. He's more of a businessman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mogul, if you will.
Entertainer, yeah.
Yeah, entertainer.
Public
Thank
figure,
you.
whatever you
That's a
wanna
good
call it.
word.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
You fuck with drumline though.
Oh, Drumline's a fucking
Yeah,
hard
that's
ass. I was about to, when I was playing with the drumsticks earlier, I was like, I need to watch Drumline. Drumline's amazing. And him finessing Mariah was crazy.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But anyways,
Heist of the century.
Yeah, the heist of the century, the heist of the decade.
Shit.
But yeah, I don't know why people were even entertaining that. Like, why did they think
Fucking
that
dumb.
it was? First off, the diss was even going to be good,
Yeah.
and second, why do we care that he's going at Eminem, who we know could body him, and it's not even really
Yeah.
a competition?
Yeah.
It's not even, yeah.
I feel like, that's a great example of what we have is we have two names who have value just for their namesake, but not for their art. And when it happens all the time where I'll see a headline, I'm like, why is this getting attention?
Yeah.
And it's just because that name still holds value based on who they are, but they're not actually relevant. Their art isn't relevant anymore. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's so laughable that people are listening to it because of how bad it is now, but they're also aware of that, that they're trying to just stir shit up, and it's like,
It's just a waste
we
of
can
time.
we can choose to not like, I didn't listen to any of those, I didn't
listen
click
to
on any of those articles. We can choose to like not engage in those things, and then blogs and stuff might, and they might not start picking up on those as much. It's not gonna happen. People are still
People are
fall
gonna
for
do
that
it.
stuff,
Yeah,
right? Like
it's
clickbait.
gonna-
and
Yeah,
all that
people
It's
are
gonna
just,
blow up on
a lot of people are
yeah.
just stupid, or they're just down for the fuckery.
Yeah.
And I'm always down for some fuckery, but like let it
Yeah.
at least be good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Did
You
you
really-
hear though that like Nick Cannon apparently said that there's a video of Eminem sucking dick?
see, that's
Here
what I
we
want to
go.
see.
That's some next
Pause.
shit. That's some next shit.
But that's what I want to
if
see.
that's facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god.
that's what I'm talking
facts.
about. Like, if we're really gonna do this, if we're really gonna hop into our fuckery bag, let's make the fuckery good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Back up your argument.
That's been a joke
Yeah,
though that
man.
he's gay, right? It's been like a joke for a bit, right?
it's been something
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
been said in the streets.
They even did
But,
it in a movie. Didn't they do that shit in a movie once?
Yeah, I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Eminem sucking dick.
No. I forgot what movie it was, but he was like in a fake interview, like a.
Oh yeah.
And he's
the,
like
the interview.
The interview. That was the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
the interview?
It was
Yeah.
the interview, and he's like
Yeah.
comes out. He's like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can see this
Nonsense.
happening in real life.
Yeah.
Like,
And then people on Twitter are just going off
Like-
like, "Oh, Eminem's so sick. He won the diss. He didn't even have to reply." Like, dude, you guys don't get it. You guys just don't get the bigger picture. You
and
know
so
what
like
I
the
mean?
dislikes already won.
And the bigger picture is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's actually facts.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
On that note, we should just stop talking about it.
And I was just about to say thank you. I was
Yeah,
just
that
about
was
to move
way
on
too
to
much
Drizzy.
time.
Let's talk about the free event. Quick.
Free event.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what day was that? That was on.
Wait, were you there? Because I didn't see you in Zach's pictures.
Oh, Zach's.
I was there.
Zach's out here posting up pictures and tagging
Cropping
Ian,
out Ian.
and Ian's not even there.
I was like, what the hell?
He's
Nah,
in the
yo,
bathroom, but you had to tag him on the
This man, this man
poster.
takes a photo with Froggy in the mirror, and then he tags me on like a sign. I'm like, I'm not even there. And then he posts a story and he screenshots a video that I'm in with just his face in it, and he's like, I had fun at the event. I'm like, Whatever you said, yo.
That was hilarious,
That's
yo.
some fuckery, yo.
But yeah, yo, how was that?
I'm just kidding.
Can you tell us more about the event? Because I was supposed to go, I wasn't able to go. I got
wish
caught
you
up with
should've.
shit. So
That event was just crazy because like so many unexpected things happen. So I mean, it was free. It was at this place called Free Space. It was a creator class, Canon sponsored creator class event.
okay, I didn't know
Yeah. So basically, we got tickets. Drake's photographer Theo, was doing it's like a little interview, fireside chat kind of thing, and we just we got tickets. Tickets were free.
that. Yeah.
A lot of people showed up. The turnout was crazy. There was probably more people lining up than they could probably fit. It was free, and it is Drake's photographer, so there's clout behind it. But no, it was really sick. So we got in. We waited outside for like an hour and a half. It's really cold. But so we got in, and they had like open bar, and there's like a lot of seats and stuff, and kind of just we're chilling. A bit of a networking thing as well.
Yeah.
So we got to listen to Theo talk. He was interviewed by, I forgot the guy who was interviewing his name. He's like a Okay, Shamir Anderson. Is that his name? Okay, cool. Yeah, he's like a cinematographer, I think, right? Or something? No? Am I wrong?
Definitely not.
He's an actor. Oh, he's an actor. Okay, sorry. My bad. Anyway, so yeah,
Damn.
they did an interview. I thought he was because he had
Someone
a fucking
didn't prep.
Panavision jacket.
Yeah, I know, yo.
Never
Start
mind.
doing their research, yo.
Not on him, yo. I wasn't there for him.
Oh shit, yo. I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
He's not, but I hope he is.
It's Adam.
He goes back. Yeah, no. So yeah, we he did a good chat. I learned quite a bit from him, on his his technique and stuff like that. And then basically, after that we just were networking for a bit, meeting a lot of different people. It was like an industry. Yeah.
Were there any good takeaways?
Yeah, what's the salient points?
True.
Yeah,
Want me to go back to that?
You're telling us about the event, but I'm not hearing any impactful things that happened during the talk.
Like during his talk?
Yeah. Before the cool shit
Like,
happened.
I can't even really think of any true takeaways. I mean,
Damn.
to be honest, like
You
it's
didn't
something
even come
that
through with nothing.
Nothing stuck with you, like
something that really stuck with me. Maybe
one-liners?
Zach has a different opinion, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, eh?
I can't. It was like a fucking week ago. So
He was
Zach
on-
ended
trying
up
to
giving
remember.
him advice, right?
Yeah. Zach came through and gave the guy advice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Theo was talking about how. So Theo's mainly known for being Drake's personal photographer. He's kind of followed him around for about 7 years now, like
About a
shooting his
decade.
tours, shooting his visual artist, they call him. So yeah, he's just been around Drake for 7 years, which is obviously I feel like you're living the life a little bit there.
Yeah.
Get free access to all that different type of shit that Drake's experiencing. So that's sick. You get to go on tour, travel a lot. So that's obviously cool. I think I feel like there's one point that he did mention. He says doing it for so long, it's repetitive. Right? Like
I could see that.
going on tour, taking photos of Drake. Drake does the same kind of shit, going to clubs, going to like whatever, touring and stuff. It kind of, the photos get repetitive. So I think one thing that he said that he tried to kind of change it up and change his photo style and take photos of not Drake, but actual things that are happening in like during the tours. Like they showed a bunch of photos of like after an event or after a concert.
Okay.
Like some dude just sweeping up all the confetti on the floor.
Okay.
So
I
he
think I
was
remember actually
taking-
seeing some of those.
Yeah, that might be on his Instagram. I'm not sure,
I
but
believe I see something like that.
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So he kind of eventually it kind of got repetitive. So he started to experiment with different types of different types of moments, I guess he can capture. And yeah, I thought that was cool. Other than that, I mean, he shoots on film mainly, so I'm always interested in that. Right? He shoots on a lot of different cameras. Actually, he said he'll pull up with like 5, 6, 7 different cameras on him and just shoot with all those different like medium format. He'll do 35, different like point and shoots, SLRs, all these different things. So
Here's a little hot take.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
I heard around around the grapevine. Apparently, one of the photos that he had to delete, he was playing one-on-one ping pong with MJ, and he was winning.
Yeah, he told the story. He told the
Really?
story.
And MJ was like, "Yo, delete that."
What?
How do you know that? Did he say that?
Just
Bro,
I
we're there,
prepped, yo. I prepped.
Okay. Oh.
Sampreeth
Yeah, never
knows
mind.
Drizzy,
You
bro.
know people who went there. What am I saying, yo?
But that's just. Can you imagine
That's
that
true.
photo?
That'd be wild.
That's a classic.
I could see it.
Yeah, Drake beating Jordan.
It's almost like, you know, like
I see
the,
it, yeah.
the baseball flip. Or not the baseball, the bat flip,
Yeah.
you know?
The
Yeah.
You can
bat
see that
flip,
small
like-
ass ball in Jordan's
And then-
hands, you know, like the paddle looking like this, you know, like he's just holding like a pencil. Like,
Yeah.
Or like, you know, the knockout, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's.
But it's
what
just
I
Drizzy
see.
Yeah.
just with a backhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nasty.
That photo exists somewhere. He just hasn't
Yeah.
posted it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it exists.
That's wild.
And
I
that's
would-
one of those ones that you drop, 50 years later. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. It's a lifetime thing.
when
Yeah.
MJ
Yeah,
dies
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
And he has his solo exhibit of just.
That's
I
wild.
can't remember which photographer it was, but there was like this person who would be at a lot of like Hollywood parties in like the early 2000s, like late 90s and stuff. So they got like a whole bunch of like crazy photos of like people you didn't think would be together, and like they just had them. And this was before cell phones were being banned and like NDAs needed to be at these parties and stuff, so people could actually take pictures. So there's like
Yeah.
so many like gems, but I feel like this generation of people aren't gonna be able to experience that because there's there's so much like
It's always.
they're always saying no pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like those Keith Haring, like is it the Basquiat ones? It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
True.
That's hard as fuck, though. What was I gonna say? Anything else from before we get into the whole thing? But
about
anything else
Theo,
before? Yeah,
I
with Theo?
felt like, I mean, I can't fully judge his character off like an interview and kind of seeing him talk for an hour, but he did generally seem like a humble dude to me, which I thought was really cool because given like what he does, I can see someone very easily being very just cocky and feel like they're the shit, and at least he seemed humble to me. Again, I can't judge. He
No,
could just
from-
be putting on an act, but honestly, I genuinely think he
Yeah.
was humble.
And from what you said, it sounds like, I mean, a lot of people, if they got that job, they would they found their niche, their formula, and then they're just
Yeah.
gonna ride that out. But
Yeah.
he's using different cameras and he's
Yeah.
experimenting with film. Like he's obviously not like
Yeah.
satisfied in like staying at
Yeah.
the same level. Like he wants to
Yeah.
get better. And
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And yeah, it's the
that's a
reason
good
why I
lesson, at
kind of
least.
got
Yeah, for
that
sure.
from him, that he's like super humble, is that I could tell that he almost feels like his photos and like what he's done so far isn't really anything to him. Like he hasn't even touched the surface on what he wants to accomplish.
Yeah.
So there's so much more for him in the future. So that's why I feel like I can sense that like I haven't done shit yet. Like this photo, like I just took it. Like
I could
that's
see.
good.
like you know what I mean? Like
I could see him being bored
Yeah.
of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes more sense now. Like,
And not to
Yeah.
not to sound salty either, but I'm mostly bored by most tour photography too, because it's like you just have that moment. Like I could capture that moment on my
Yeah.
phone too if I was
Exactly.
there.
in a way, yes.
It just
yeah.
seems like the people who are there, it's just you're not necessarily have the eye for it. You're just there.
You're
know?
just there at the right time,
Yeah.
right moment. There's a bit of that, yeah.
But you want like you hope that the people who are in those positions are motivated to get better and have a vision of
Right.
their own kind of style at least. You
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, so what he wanted to do is he wants to be ultimately a filmmaker, so he wants to make films. How he's going to transition to that is, well, that's an interesting conversation on how he's going to do that. Whether he has to give up being Drake's personal photographer or do it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much time he dedicates to being with Drake and photographing. I don't know if he's like with him every fucking day, but I don't think so, but like quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot of his time. So to be a
I
filmmaker,
mean, every time they go on tour, right?
yeah,
That's-
which
yeah.
how I guess Drake's on tour quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's doing something.
Yeah.
exactly.
And if not, it's like whatever. Like if he's going to a different country, travel and shit, you're gonna have to be a filmmaker. You're gonna have to like you have to dedicate a lot of time. If especially if he wants to do like a feature film, like fuck, it's gonna be a lot. He's gonna have to kind of compromise and
Just figure it out.
figure it out. But
Take a step.
yeah,
Do something different.
yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't think he really went into what kind of films he wants to make. So, but I think he said narratives.
He's a talker, yo. Ian's a talker, bro. Anyways, yo, we're back. Most Lit Podcast in the North. Whoa.
Whoa, in the north.
I almost said the Northern Hemisphere again. That's why.
Yeah.
Nah.
My bad. Most Lit Podcast in North America's largest urban park.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's long.
If you don't know what it is, you're gonna have to Google it. We're not telling you.
But yeah, let's continue with the whole event. Ian, could you please just lead us? Give us a nice worded POV of your experience.
Worded POV. All right, so where we left off. I mean,
You don't have to talk about Theo.
all right, whatever. So
Let's get to the shits now.
Theo thing gets wrapped, whatever. So after that, the second half of it is whatever, just networking. It's open bar, so whatever. You're gonna get some drinks. You're gonna chill. There's like industry party. There's a lot of like everyone there is either associated with music or they're a photographer. Or there's just almost everyone there is a creative.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool environment to be in. A lot of different people you could talk to, make connections with, and shit. So yeah, I mean, we're just talking. We talked to a few different people and everything. They have this one room on like the side where you can look at Theo's negatives under glass through like little magnifying glasses. Yeah, so it's like negatives from Drake's concerts and fucking. They had some from Hot Light Bling, BTS from Hot Light Bling, the video. So we're just looking at that or whatever, and then we're chilling in that one room. Next thing you know, like. I don't know, like, it's weird, like, security comes in and they start acting weird. Mm-hmm. Start telling us to move back, and we're like, there's nothing to move back from. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the room's empty. Like, there's, like, us three, like, me, Zach, Froggy, and, like, a couple other people.
Shouts out Froggy.
And shout out to Froggy. Check out his YouTube channel. But, yeah, it's weird. They're telling us to move back, and there's no one there. We're like, okay. So we're just chilling, and then about 5 seconds later, we turn around. And we fucking see Drake, and he's just there, and he's walking with his crew.
You mean
like,
Champagne Poppy?
You see Champagne fucking Poppy. He looks pissed for some reason. Feels like he just walks in like he's like fucking walking. You know when WWE wrestlers walk down the ring? Like,
Jeez, that's how he's walking?
That's how he was feeling. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, right?
That's a real.
That's how he was
in peasant territory.
Yeah. That's what, like, and then like everyone else is, yeah.
He's like broke ass.
He smells the broke ass. Yeah. Look at the peasants, dude. Like,
I don't smell any Burberry.
Not lying. He pulls up with like his entire, like most of his OVO entourage is there. Like Chubbs is there, a couple other people. I forgot their fucking names, but like you recognize their faces from photos and shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're all there, and Drake's just walking through, and people are taking it in, but they don't know how to react.
Yeah,
because you can't just be a fucking crazy fanboy or girl and freak out because they're gonna kick you out. Or their security's scary, by the way. They're going to kick your ass or some shit. So you're just kind of chilling, but then you're like, okay. And then the whole energy in the room, like, changes when he was there.
When
like,
the sixth god comes.
It was crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, everyone just was like, it's like the room got a little quieter, and everyone didn't know how to react. And you could tell everyone's like,
666.
Yeah. And then, like, as he's walking through the...
I'm just trying to add to the elements.
The tumbleweed.
I'm just trying to add.
He's walking
you
through
might have
the
to
room.
roll that audio and put it on the soundboard there.
Sorry, go ahead.
So he's walking through the venue, and fucking everyone just starts to like kind of gravitate towards him. Mm-hmm. It was really weird. Like he's a fucking magnet, and everyone's just kind of gravitating. You see man's pulling out their cameras slowly, and then like he goes to the bar, and everyone kind of like is around him. They're not acting like a mob, but everyone's just kind of around him as he walks around. Like
they're all
really
like
weird.
shifting,
and
trying to see what
half
he's
of the
doing.
people are really just trying to get good photos.
Yeah,
the other people are just trying to put on their Insta story or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and I did it real quick, or I took a video just to show people that I was there. But but basically, yeah, and he just hung out, and it was really weird. It was like a cool but like weird experience at the same time.
From what I could see from a bunch of the Instagram posts that I seen, it just looked like he was just there just to support, which I fucked with.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
His guy,
just like, just show up because.
Yeah.
Mans could be doing other things. You know what I mean? He could be hanging out in his marble bathtub, but he pulled up to the event.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he just came from the Raptors game that day.
Oh, okay.
The Raptors game just ended, and I think that's when he pulled up.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
So I guess he just came over, and he was there for like an hour and a half, an hour-ish.
Sick.
And then left. But yeah, it was really cool. Got to see him kind of close up, but I think the crowd, like the people that were there, I think we handled it pretty well. Could have went weird, but everyone was kind of chill. They knew, if I act normal, like as normal as you can be.
Yeah, that's one of those situations that could get wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's good. Everybody was chilling. They're just obviously you're at a photography event, so I could imagine how many flashes were going off and
people taking photos. Yeah, definitely.
Shit.
So you couldn't stop that, but yeah, you couldn't get near him. He has like a wall of security just following him.
I've always wondered what having security like that is like.
Yeah, his security is like the mans look like Hell's Angels. Like they're scary.
Jeez.
Like, yeah, these big dudes with tattoos all over their heads and shit. Like,
Jeez, yo.
yeah.
I wonder what it's like to get clocked by one of those guys.
Yeah, they were fucking big guys, right? Like, and they're looking at you like with death stares the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
the man just snorted a bunch of coke, he's staring at everyone.
That's good though. You don't want
Like-
some like, you know.
Obviously, you want real security. You want-
Sad
That's
looking-
real
yeah.
security to me,
Obviously,
you know?
yeah. That's how they should be, I guess, when you're protecting one of the biggest artists in the world, right?
Just slap someone in the face just off top, just to set the,
Just to set the
bar,
mood,
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it's gonna be like if anybody gets close. You know?
And like, I don't blame his security being like that, given like what other celebrities have dealt
Yeah.
with in the past.
Yeah.
Like John Lennon getting murdered and shit like that. Like,
Damn, yo.
I mean, Jesus
like
Christ.
I'm gonna
Jesus
go.
fuck.
I'm gonna go there.
I thought you were gonna go with like a fucking somebody get hit with some water.
No. Ever since he was like murdered, like the whole security celebrity thing went up a lot, because that was like one of the big moments.
I mean, I guess that was also like that was like people weren't as obsessed with celebrities at that time too.
But it was John Lennon though. That's a
yeah,
Beatle.
yeah,
And the Beatles, they
I mean, he was the one that it would
they
be
had
for.
Yeah.
everything. They had the world in their hand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
That's good though, yo. I'm happy you and Zach and Froggy and everybody else got to experience that. I was low key
You sound
like,
salty.
I was low key a little salty because I was just like, fuck, like I could have went, but I couldn't because I just couldn't get out of work on time.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of work early. So I just sat at home, was watching My Hero Academia. Fine with me, yo. I had a great night. I had a wonderful evening still. Jeez.
It was wild.
We just hit the silence just like that. It's
I
amazing.
don't know. You're but yeah.
No, we're good.
Although other than that, yeah, that was most of the event. We just chilled a little bit
Yeah.
longer, and we got to see Theo's. He had like a little viewing of another film, like a little film he made. It was mostly just BTS of Drake's shows, kind of put together over music, and there's like two like sides to it, A side, B side. There's just two things going on, kind of like what we did with Kevin's video, but just two frames.
Okay.
You get two things to look at.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like
We had 4 things
Next.
to look at, but whatever.
Yeah. simple version.
Oh wait, yo, did man see the new Anders video?
Nah.
No. When did it come out? Wait. Which one? What song?
I'll pull it up in a sec. Well, we don't even have to watch it.
The man's rip us off?
We'll do that. Don't worry.
Ooh.
We'll do that.
I might have to get on Lost in Reactions.
Oh, this is a
already
cool
seen it,
video.
Wait, he sold.
I'm just saying, Sampreeth, you might have to deck some.
no.
Is
Oh
it?
no.
Just what's the name of the song? Just so I know.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay, never
I don't
mind.
care about Anders like that.
Okay,
yo.
okay. You mentioned it.
Like
so-
I bump Anders, but I'm just like I'm not in there with Anders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not trying to throw any hate or anything like that.
No. It's probably not.
I like
it's
what
nothing
I
to do
like.
with him. If anything, it's the people that made it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, this is sick. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So
But anyways,
No, fuck everyone if there's something real to happen.
there's a 1-2 thing though.
Yeah.
We'll check that out later. We'll check that out off the record.
Yeah.
You know, I like saying that now because it's like we feel like 100K
It's gonna be
views.
so annoying when we're actually popping and like people are actually biting us. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yo.
gonna be so
And
annoying.
you can't say
to deal
shit.
with. Yeah.
That's
Well,
what-
yeah, because there's gonna be a point where we can actually start saying stuff, but then it's like I don't want to be that guy. Who's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like come on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Russell Peters.
Yeah.
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 You guys know
And then
those
just
ones.
leads to your downfall.
Like I respected him for saying it, but I
Yeah.
was also like, yo, why are you calling him out at the same time?
I know. I listened to it. Like before I listened to it, I was like, "Yo, don't do this."
Yeah.
And then I listened to it. I was like, "Okay, true.
Yeah.
I get it." But
And then I was also okay with it too because I don't really like Trevor Noah's comedy that much either. So I was like, it's whatever. But yeah, basically Russell Peters, he went on was it Sway, and
Sway.
he was accusing Trevor Noah of stealing his jokes, and then they were like playing clips back to back, and it was like
They're pretty similar.
Yeah,
and
like,
you know, it's a
"Ugh."
big no-no in the
Yeah.
comedic community.
Oh yeah, in any creative community for sure. But like I can imagine.
Yeah, stealing a joke is like
That's like-
that's like stealing
that's like
a
bad,
scene.
bad.
Like that's stealing like
Yeah,
a literal
yeah.
like film footage from somebody's. You know what I mean? Like
How do you even?
That's
It's
like
even
stealing a
worse
song,
because
yeah.
sometimes it's like with film, it's like,
Like,
oh, I
I was
really
inspired.
love that guy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
How do you say I'm inspired by this joke?
Yeah.
Like
There's
it's,
no no equivalent for
there's
jokes.
nothing like
Yeah.
this is my original joke. You can't like
Yeah.
even if you fucking reword it like no
It's the next man's joke.
except Yeah.
Sorry, I need to make a quick correction.
What's
It's
up?
the video's from a while ago. Actually, it's from October. It's
I haven't seen it then.
My side of the bed.
Oh, that video. Okay, I actually, you know what's
the
funny?
timeline
I
is
haven't
still,
actually seen that video. I know it. I
still
just haven't
lines up.
seen it.
Because there was that who was his name again? Remember that video I sent you
Never
where
mind.
they shot by Spadina and they had like the same overhead?
Yeah.
What was that guy's name again?
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Yeah, but that was before
Yeah.
our video, so that was like okay, fine. But
Which one? Oh, yeah, from Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know his
Was
name.
it the
I forgot.
electronic guy?
yeah.
Is it Harrison?
Not Harrison?
It's not Harrison. Who was it?
Yeah, his name is
Something like though.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it's whatever.
Something
It
like
is
It's not too bad.
It's not
done
too bad.
before.
Something like though.
I thought you were gonna tell
Ian's
me.
out here commenting. Hey.
Well, did I comment?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I haven't actually watched the video. I I didn't actually watch the video. I just watched the snippet. That's funny.
That's jokes.
Yeah,
anything else to touch on that whole thing? Yo?
Nah, cut that.
Great, thanks.
that was all that was the gist of it. It was most of it.
Anyways, thank you for sharing that, Ian. I feel like it's one of those. I like going to those events just to sometimes just sit down and just hear what other people have gone through. Even though a lot of the time I feel like with our experience, we already kind of know. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of just recycled stuff.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show everyone's kind of just going through the same type of steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder. Like you're not like your timeline that you have for yourself is not that serious. Bro.
Yeah.
Like you have time.
I think the biggest problem with those things is you're hoping that they tell you how they got from there to there.
Yeah.
But there's never
you're trying to figure out the magic.
Yeah.
Like what
there's
was
never
that
a good
moment?
answer. Either they never answer it properly and they focus on the wrong parts, or there isn't that answer. So it's just like, and as much as even if you do get that answer, it might not fully help you in your stuff, but like you still want that. Like how do you transition? How do you make it from being nothing to like somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's different for other people though, because it's like I don't want to like make it sound like we're gassing ourselves up, but like I think we've been to a few of those events, and then you hear these people talk, and you don't feel deficient in talent. You know what I mean?
Never.
Like
Exactly.
you feel like you're just up to par with them.
Yeah, that's how I
Right.
felt.
But then it's like some people might show up and be like, oh, like. I don't know. Actually,
like people might get humbled, or they might think, they're
I
like,
need
oh
to work
wow,
on
like
my,
I didn't
my
realize
quality.
I didn't realize I had to work that hard, or I
feel like
needed
there's
to
some
focus
people
on that thing.
I feel like with us, we have a different experience when we go into that, because again, we're looking to cool, like we're gonna go to this thing and we might figure out something, or we might hear something that we haven't thought about.
Yeah.
But all of it's the same type of shit.
Yeah.
It's just like
Well, I think with us is we know that we've narrowed down our strengths, and we know that we work on artistically we work, and we know what we need to do to work on that, but we know our weaknesses, the connections and all that kind of stuff, and it's like when we go to these events we never get that information.
Yeah. The weakness is
the work, the
clout,
the workflow, the how you need to improve to get like we know that stuff, like what we need to do to get better, make our work better. But it's the,
and to be fair, I think I don't want to discount some of the guys who show up to this. Like I'm sure they are very proficient and talented. But that being said, I have run into a lot of creatives recently that just like it's shocking the fact that like
get it.
You can call yourself an artist or photographer and not know the basics of aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, and like how to light a backdrop and how to operate your flash transmitter and strobe lights and all this stuff that like this is the basics of your craft.
Yeah.
I don't care how many people you know and how many followers you have. Like you need to know this stuff.
I don't care. I also don't care how good your photos look, because to me as well, I feel like a lot of people are taking good photos.
Yeah.
But it's just luck.
But did you know
how many photos did you take?
Can you do that again?
How many times did you just fucking flick through your camera settings just to get...
Yeah. If the light changed, can you take that photo again?
Exactly.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Social media is definitely to blame for that. I mean, with the idea that you can simply, just put photographer in your bio and just like put photos up. Yeah, your only good photos. Say you took the best 5 photos of your life and put them up, and then like that's like the masses. That's what they think. This is how good you are, but they don't know. Like you don't know the basics.
You know what it is?
You know what I mean?
I think and I'm gonna sound like a purist, but I feel like you're not allowed to skip steps when it comes to that stuff. Like, I get it if you're a big artist and you have like and what makes you special is the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it doesn't matter if you're not the one executing it. It's okay. Like, you're allowed to be like a Ai Weiwei, and you can have your other people working for you, like making your little trinkets that's gonna go in your art gallery. But if you haven't paid your dues, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree. You should.
Yeah.
That's what we try to talk about. We've talked about a little bit too here. It's just like making sure that you kind of understand what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? It's just, again, it's just something as simple as knowing what you're doing when you're going into a shoot, or even any part of your art. If you're painting, you know what I mean? What type of paint you're going to be using, your canvas. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know how all these little things work and all the little details behind them.
Yeah.
So that you can not only become a better artist, but actually be what you're telling people you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
facts.
And like, I'd say, like, even as especially as a musician, you should know the basics of like film and photography because of how much you're going to encounter it.
Exactly.
You know, so it's
Yep.
like you shouldn't even limit yourself to your own, like, and it's not hard to learn any of these basics about any of
It's
things.
not hard.
It's not
That's
really
the,
not
that's
hard.
the surprising part.
Anybody could literally pick up any of those fundamentals. Like, if you want to learn music production, I'll teach you in like an hour, like
Exactly.
the basics.
You know what I
If
mean?
you want to
Yeah.
learn like ISO app, like that's not hard to learn. Like,
That's
it's just a
like
basic
so
concept.
many
Yeah.
videos on YouTube
Yeah.
probably of how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And we have the resources now. So
Yeah.
you don't have the excuse of telling me that you just don't know because no one ever taught you.
Yeah.
Like, you spent an hour watching Chirac music videos. Why can't you just pull up a 1-2 tutorial?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I dumb? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, have we ever talked about that guy who like drives through the crazy neighborhoods in the U.S.? He's a YouTuber. It's crazy. He drives through like Detroit.
Actually, I've seen
and
those
stuff.
videos though.
It's
Yeah.
just like he has his like GoPro at the front, and
Yeah.
he's just driving through.
It's wild, yo. It's fucking
Anyways,
crazy.
side topic.
Yeah, no, that's a side thing. But no, those videos are actually wild. I actually low-key have an obsession with not just his videos, but just the videos of people just fucking walking around cities.
No, I can't do that.
You don't have
those ASMR ones when it's
Not
like
the ASMR
They-
racks.
about-
but it's like
A man
walk,
eating a
I'll walk
donut while
through
he's
New
driving.
York for an hour, and it's like raining.
Oh, yeah. Like those lo-fi videos we put on where
Yeah,
it's just like you're driving it's
trapping
like a-
in Japan, and then
trapping
it's
in
just a guy
Japan.
just in a fucking in like a bus and just fucking going through.
It's
Tokyo.
just one of those dash cams, and you're just driving through Japan at night.
yeah, yo, I fuck
Shit
with
hard
those.
actually.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
I've
fuck-
seen those
think I'm
videos.
familiar
Where,
with those,
man,
but-
Yeah, we'll
those are
pull
the
those up.
hood.
Swing, swing.
Those are the hot
That
ones.
shit
Yeah.
funny.
You got like Bart Simpson, he's fucking tripping on acid. He's it's pretty sick. The videos are pretty nasty. Yeah.
People really want to see the worst. Like they want to see like this is fucked up. Like
Yeah.
this side of society's fucked. I'm glad I'm not there. Like that's so fucked though.
That shit, that
It
kind of
attracts so many people.
That type of shit reminds me of like that Vince Staples video. What
Oh
was it?
fuck yeah. Senorita.
Yeah, Senorita.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that whole video, and that's one of my favorite music videos ever, because it's just like the message in that was all this shit, this wild, crazy shit is happening in the hood, and you have people, say white folks or whatever, or people in the suburbs that are looking at the hood from afar like it's a movie or a TV show or a walk through an art gallery, seeing, oh yeah, those little black kids that are dealing with nonsense.
Vince
in the
Staples
neighborhood.
actually done that theme twice now. Because remember that you've seen the Fun music video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
That
The whole
was
thing's
crazy.
on Google
That one
Maps.
was hard, yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like-
that's a-
yeah,
that was a
shit was
great
hard.
idea.
That was one of those ideas where it's like, fuck, I wish I thought of that.
Yeah, I
'Cause
have
that
so
shit,
Well, also
that
the
shit-
execution
and the
in that
execution
video
was
was
amazing. It's one of those.
spot
That's one of
on.
those ideas no one's ever gonna do again.
Exactly,
You
you
can
couldn't-
only do that shit once.
Yeah, like withdraw.
like withdraw. You only do that shit once, so not again. That was a good video. That was a good video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, that was one of those hard ass fucking music videos. One of my favorite ones. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. man.
Senorita, yeah.
That Senorita's fucking hard as fuck.
Yeah. Future's in it too. Yeah, I know. That's why you like it.
It's actually, you know what I found out? It's actually just a Future sample.
Yeah, it's a sample. Yeah.
It's a yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It was from another song.
Yeah, I can't remember the
Yeah,
song. And
I
I'm the
realized
biggest
that.
Future fan, but whatever.
You're not the biggest Future.
I am the biggest.
No, you
Future
are.
fan.
Yeah.
yeah.
that was
Evil
your
world
artist
we
of the
live in.
decade.
That was
man.
my artist of the decade, folks. Future. Over, what was it? I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000 hours, minutes clocked in with Future. Just sitting there crying in my room. deep dark times of Future, yo. Being very toxic. It's great.
Did you look at that? Or you haven't been on Spotify that long, right?
Not too long, no.
Yeah.
I kind of just switched over because of this podcast, basically.
Yeah.
I was Apple Music man.
Apple Music has one like a year-end thing, right?
So what do you mean?
They have like a Wrapped equivalent.
They do? Do they?
Dude, I don't know.
I thought so. Yeah.
I don't know.
If it is, it's not as popular because I don't see people fucking posting.
Yeah, I haven't
that shit.
seen anybody post any Apple
I'm sure
ones.
if they don't, I guess they should.
Yeah.
They should. 'Cause
Their analytics are actually better than Spotify, so they should have like.
I was gonna say it's probably
should have
better than
something,
Yeah.
Spotify.
Like now, like I like Spotify's layout more. It's just cooler. I like their playlist more too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's more options on playlists.
I feel.
Kind of like it a lot more.
Yo, Zach, how much time we got?
It's 21 minutes.
We're 21 minutes in. All right, let's touch on something light. Yo, hit us with one of those topics, Sampreeth.
Oh, you want me to hit you with one of
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into Ian in the next segment.
You guys are not gonna expect what's gonna happen on the next part.
Ian has a wild story, and we need time for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna.
I still don't
yeah.
understand how this happened.
We got Gary Vee.
Okay.
I got Gary Vee. No fucking.
I got Gary Vee, yo. We got some inside information on Gary Vee that no one else
Yeah,
knows.
chill. All right. Sorry, Sampreeth. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
I love Gary Vee, man. I bought your book, yo.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I guess like we always talk about. A lot of people talk about how school sucks,
Yeah.
right? Like elementary school sucks.
We've mentioned it before.
It's not valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been reflecting,
Look at this guy.
and I'm like, as a societal tool,
Yeah.
like education is important,
Indeed.
right? And you need to know, man. I feel like I'm gonna sound like a hater, but you have to have the basics down packed. I'm talking not
Very
about art, but just like you have so many people nowadays who can't like
gotta read
compose
and
an
write,
email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how to do basic math. Like
Yeah.
you need to know the difference between like when to use your apostrophes.
Yeah.
Like
No, there
these
really
are the
is.
basics of everyday life that you should pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
100%
so
agree.
in some ways school is valuable. Like is it the most efficient way for everyone? No. Long story short, the question is what's the most valuable class that you ever took in like elementary school?
most valuable class.
Jeez. The most valuable.
Yeah, like you look back on it now and you're like, oh, like that was actually useful.
I know mine, and it's an easy answer. But
Go.
for me, it was definitely Comtech grade 10, simply because that. Kind of before high school, or when I was really young, I used to just make random videos, whatever, just for fun, because I was like trying to be like a YouTuber, but I was too young to do it. No one really gave a fuck.
You're never too young, bro.
I mean, no one wants to watch a 10-year-old make videos. Like, let's be real. But
Weren't you like famous?
I mean,
on
there's a
YouTube?
few
No,
people
no,
that
well-
might still.
Yeah.
well, I did gaming videos later. That was actually in high school. But but basically, yeah. So like I was always interested in creating and more in the video side of things. So I took Comtech, knowing that would lead me to the videography class that was in grade 11. So that was probably Comtech, which led me to that, which probably led me to film school, which led me to here. I feel like that's probably the pathway. That class kind of set my path
Okay, so
towards it,
this,
because if I didn't take that, like I don't know what I might be like taking business or something in fucking college or university or some shit. So I have no idea. But
Okay, but like
That's what I was gonna ask. Does that count?
I'm talking. So that's for you.
Okay.
I'm talking like everyday life,
everyday
Yeah,
life.
right? That's
So
what I'm
something
saying.
that like is like I'm using everyday life kind of thing. Like
or just something that
Just
you
give you perspective on.
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay, sure. I have to think about that then.
or developed a certain skill in you.
It wasn't, maybe not necessarily the learning of or what the class was intended for, but like
Okay.
the lesson you got out of it gave
Okay.
you like a life lesson.
True,
you
true,
know,
true.
like, Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
Actually, I was gonna just say, like,
Social
honestly,
studies?
wild.
then.
I had a class in high school. It was genocide,
Okay.
and it was literally just about all the genocides that have ever happened in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, I remember you roasting
Yeah.
it. Back in
Yeah, I
the
never
day.
fucked with it really, and then as I've grown up into my adulthood, I've not noticed, but like I've taken in how, if you will, learned or cultured I am, because I can have conversations with people now about certain pasts and stuff that has happened in history, without even taking in that I actually cared about it. You know what I mean? Or taking in that it was actually something that I was going to have to actually use in the future. And I feel like it's actually helped me a lot in just understanding how humans work, how we've worked throughout history, and possibly how we may be working in our future. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of things just like repeat themselves.
Genocide's an interesting one because like when we talk about learning history, the conversation's always like history's biased and we don't want to talk about the hard things, and history is defined by the winners. So like genocide's interesting because you're talking about the most like messed up stuff that people are probably like trying to hide.
Exactly.
You know?
I feel like it's also opened me up to have more open conversations with people about, you know, just stuff, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like
I could go on a whole tirade about that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like understanding where a lot of people are coming from. Like I can understand why people from certain cultures.
Yeah, like a deeper empathy that people
think
about.
Thank you. Yeah. It's more of an empathy. Yeah,
that's
a
the
great
key
word.
word.
Yeah,
that is the key word.
Yeah, the empathy. I have more empathy for people from other cultures and throughout different generations of those cultures as well.
That's a great lesson because that's not something that you can necessarily learn explicitly from any one thing, but a class like genocide would be something where you could act like, literally like the European trip I went, that's where like I got to gain a lot more empathy towards certain cultures and stuff, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it yesterday. Like I went to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like, and I wasn't taking it in when I was there.
Yeah.
But like now I'm taking it in.
Yeah. Just the history.
Yeah. And Auschwitz is crazy because they have all the like old like hair and nails.
Yeah.
That's scary.
They keep everything. That's
scary. And it's just there.
Like just hearing that, it's just like,
it's crazy.
That's scary.
It's funny. I saw this. There's this. It has a lot of views on Vimeo. It's called Auschwitz. It's on Vimeo. I don't know if you've seen it. It's just like black and white. It's like this. Just
no, we're not plugging Vimeo here. Vimeo's getting cut off.
I like. All right. But I'll keep it short. Yeah, it's like this little. It's like a couple minutes. It's just like footage of Auschwitz, like today, like modern Auschwitz. It's just weird because it's just like people taking selfies. Like that's what Auschwitz is now.
Yeah.
Just people taking tourist photos and selfies, and it's just there's just like something like that, and then it's like fuck. All
I
that
always find it funny
fucked
when
up shit happened there, and it's
when you
weird.
go to those places, like especially like war monuments or like memorials and stuff, and people are there with the same disposition as they would if they went to like a park or like a tower, you know, that's like a tourist attraction. It's like you're at like a war like a place where like atrocities were committed, like have like a little have a different like disposition.
It's
you
just
know,
weird. Like if like the people there at the time knew that right now it's just people taking selfies.
Yeah, all of that struggle.
It's just so fucking weird to think about. So
wild,
yeah, that's a good video on Vimeo. Sorry.
It's good. Always talks, bro. Always, yeah.
I know, fuck, I'll make it work.
You good? Shit. No, do one more. Alrighty. All right, yo, we're back. Let's continue with that question. So, who's up next? Sampreeth?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, I was thinking about this, and it kind of stemmed from like, what did I have the most fun doing? But then I actually took in, it was actually so valuable. But basically, it's drama class.
1,000%. Oh shit! I should have said drama.
Yeah, that's a hot one, right? It's a low key one because they're dropping all the arts in elementary schools and stuff. But
facts.
But let me give you the justification, right? It's just okay. It's obviously, what do I value right now that I'm older? It's like critical thinking, having an opinion, obviously being creative, but then ultimately it's about empathy. And like, what better way to put yourself in someone else's shoes than to be forced in, like, specifically like improv?
Yes,
because you got to think on your feet.
Yes.
And so you're forced to put yourself in someone else's shoes, imagine what that character feels like, and then play that character. And you're in Scarborough in front of a classroom trying not to look silly.
Yeah.
So you're paying attention. And in an age where everyone's on their phones and kids have more ADHD because they have inattention and they don't know how to focus on one thing, like drama class did that.
Yeah.
Facts.
It did that,
Yeah.
right? And then you go back to it and you realize that all the times that we actually maybe learned something or applied what we knew in a fun way and it's actually stuck was through drama or creating skits, like all the things that we look back on
Yeah, exactly.
our skits, right? So
Can I touch on that quick? Because yeah, drama's a good one. I didn't think about that because that's always just been like my thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, drama was the one thing that taught me how to talk shit. You know what I mean?
because you're quick on your feet.
Because again, the improv. I love doing improv.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I could be free, I could say whatever, and it's gonna mean something, kind of. You know what I mean? So it always helped me, just helping me think on my feet. Okay, how can I make this make sense with whatever you just said? You know what I mean? How can I add to this conversation or add to what's happening in the scene? Also, drama taught me how to not give a fuck about people, their opinions, and shit like that. Because I would recognize that, you know, like the cool kids or whoever were always the fucking pussies standing on the fucking stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The loudest kids in the fucking room were the quietest on stage.
Yeah.
While I was able to show my confidence to people while I was on stage and not give a fuck, because at the end of the day, one, I had to get my grade. You know what I mean? And also, I don't care. Like, it was just one of those things. It just,
And
it
also,
just
we
taught me
did a
to-
lot of shit for no grades too.
Yeah, and we did a lot of shit.
for free. Yeah.
We did a lot of shit for free, yo. We should have got paid for a lot of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But it was just like, once you start doing it, once you start standing up in front of people, you get used to it. I have no problem talking in front of a group of people now. I have no problem talking some shit if I need to. I have no problem getting out of situations or getting into situations. So yeah, drama was very hot. I low-key forgot about that
Yeah.
still.
You're also being inventive, right? It's like, you know, school tries to train you to come up with these like very cogent arguments and make sense of all the points that you're doing to argue something. And part of that involves like, oh, okay, how would other people view what I'm saying?
Yes.
And in drama, you do that naturally. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, how's the audience going to view this? Like,
Yes.
what's going to be funny to them? What's going to be meaningful to them? But you're having fun doing it, but you're still being critical in the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you're almost, again, you're the way you act or whatever you're doing whenever you are the actor or whatever you're doing for drama, you're kind of seeing it from the outside as well.
Yeah.
Seeing, again, what people would be looking at if it was you.
Yeah, it's funny, like, as kids, our brains are stimulated when we don't think we're working.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why drama and stuff like that. And even, like, I know free play is getting more and more involved in school now, because you think it's just kids running around, but their brains are actually more active than when they're sitting in a class being taught whatever you're teaching them, because their brains are shut off when you're teaching them something, like, by the book.
Yeah.
Right? If you
It's
just
the
let them run
abstraction,
around.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
Yeah, and you exactly, like, all these things that you're talking about, like, you don't realize that that's how your brain's working in that moment, but it is doing these very sophisticated things, you know, and analyzing and reading people, and you don't even realize that you're doing that.
It helped me even just pay attention to other people and how they acted too, because if you're becoming a character, you have to know your character. So I spent a lot of time even just in school. That's why I kind of became a people watcher. I stopped talking more and started listening instead. Because I learned young enough that you need to, what's the words I'm looking for? You need to, if you know a lot, don't say a lot. You know what I mean? You can't say too much. You have to kind of assess all of your situations, assess the type of situation that you're in with the people that are around you as well, and just kind of like figure it out, if you will. But I like to figure it out first in my head, and then express outward in any way that
What's
I can.
the saying? The people with the loudest voice have the weakest opinion, or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Whatever,
I
yeah.
keep all my shit in, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm ready to go whenever. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready for an argument any day. You know what I mean? Because and people know me. Like, I'm the worst person to argue with. You know what I mean? And people hate that about me. People
really-
like,
it's really
Jamal
hard.
always wants to be right. Jamal always needs to do this and that and blah blah blah. But it's not. It's literally, I've been collecting information since the day I've met you.
I've experienced this.
I've been collecting information since the day I've met you. So it's just like, that's the difference between you and me. It's, I've been training. I've been waiting for this moment to happen. You know what I mean? That's all. But yeah, very interesting. Yeah, drama's lit.
Yeah.
I got another one too.
Oh,
A
shit.
little low key one. You know, in math class, how we used to have like different types of like sections. So in math, you'd have like whatever, like linear algebra, whatever.
Yeah.
With spatial sense.
Mm.
And at the time, it felt so silly. You know, like it would say like, how many sides does this cube have? And I'm looking at this cube and I'm like, bro, like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like, all I have to do is look at this and count.
Yeah.
Like, this is not hard. But then you take it in later on in life. Like, first of all, your sense of direction improves.
Yes.
But then, like, I remember in university, I took like organic chemistry, and so like they'd have similar questions, just a slightly more complex, where it's like, okay, like you have to have a certain amount of degrees between each molecule. And so in the exam, like people would walk in like with their set, their like molecule Lego set, and for the questions they'd be like building them together. And there's some people in the class who are just like it's in your head, like
yeah.
you just imagine it, and
Yeah.
you know that's 135 degrees, and
That's wild.
you know it's not hard. But if you don't develop those skills at an early
Yeah, you have
age,
to develop that early.
because I see it in like a lot of the surgeons who like now do like laparoscopic surgery. So it's like you don't cut the body open, but you put the camera through a small incision in the stomach, and then you like have to maneuver the cameras with both your hands while you're looking at a screen. It's kind of like you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
But the camera is like not oriented properly, so it's kind of like if you guys have ever tried to cut your hair with a mirror, like your hand doesn't move the right way.
Yeah,
it's
you're always
weird.
going
it's
the
a
wrong
weird
way.
type
Yeah.
of feeling.
Hate that.
So those things, they're like, I don't know if this is actually facts, but I've seen it. Like some of those older surgeons, they have so much trouble doing it because they haven't developed that spatial sense.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and what was I gonna say about that? And actually, interestingly enough, there's like this cognitive test that you it's like you to test older people's cognitive function. It's called like the MOCA test or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when people come in with dementia and stuff, you make them do this. And so one of the exercises is like, it's really simple. It's like it has a picture of a cube and you have to draw the cube, right? And it tests like your executive functioning or whatnot. And that's basically like in the front of your brain. It's like the system that allows for planning. And so by planning, it means like you have to like plan out what you're going to do before you draw that cube, right? Like there's multiple steps and you have to have those steps kind of loosely in your head to actually execute the task. Like another one's like drawing a clock. Like it's like draw 10 past 11. And so for them to be able to do that in their head, they have to have the part of their brain that has executive functioning to like draw a circle, draw the numbers in the right place, and then draw the small hand and the big hand. And that's all like a spatial sense. And so it's actually crazy to see that like later on in life that starts to decline, and you think it's super simple, but the more you're actually developing it as a kid,
Yeah.
it's actually like really having major profound impacts on
Yeah, even like
on
again,
your-
just going off of that, kind
Jeez.
of just the basics. It's funny how many people just don't know where north is, you know?
yeah.
Talking bare basics.
Just that the right
Which way
down
is
to the
north?
basics, just people don't know where shit is.
Terrible. It's
Like you could toss somebody, just dash them off the fucking plane, and they won't know where the fuck.
Some people have really
North or
bad
south
sense of
is,
direction. Like you've been here like 10 times, you don't know where to go.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I
But
like
yo, no, that's a good one. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. But just, next time
That's
we decide to hate on our education, it's like, oh, okay.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know.
the way it was implemented and, big classroom sizes and all that nonsense
like
is a big
realistically,
deal.
shout
but-
out the teachers. It's more just the people, behind the scenes that are fucking shit up. I would say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah, the teachers have very little control what's going on.
They're just trying.
And
to
shout
do
out to all the
They're
teachers.
just trying to
man.
do
Shout
their
out to
Shout out
jobs.
to all the
Yeah.
teachers.
They're just trying to
Yeah.
do their job. It's just the people that are fucking all the other
Teachers
shit up,
are
you know?
underpaid.
Well, it's the system itself. Like it's built on
Yeah.
built on building, workers. So
Yep.
Did you guys want to touch on any of those either?
honestly, I don't really have like I was actually thinking drama before you mentioned it. I'm not lying. I swear.
Sure.
No, I took drama. I took drama every year in high school.
Yeah, same.
And I loved it up until grade 12. I started skipping because I didn't care. You guys notice as you get through high school, like you care less and less each year. Is that just me or?
That was me once I got there. That was me again.
But when
that was
you're
me
in grade
3,
9,
bro.
you're like kind of like in grade 9, you're like shit. Like you might unless you're just always like that.
Yeah.
But you might.
I know what you mean, though.
You cared less and less. So when I hit grade 12, I'm like, like whatever. Like I know I'm going. This is what I want to do after high school, or I don't care what I want to do after high school. I'm just
I feel you.
There's classes I skipped more in the 12th grade.
Yeah, I feel
I
you.
don't know. It's like drama, gym, shit like that. I skip. I don't care.
All right, well.
Anyways.
Just going off of what Sampreeth was talking about.
Yeah.
We're not going to attack Ian yet. We're not gonna
What
go
are you gonna
into
attack me on?
not attack you. Sorry, we're not gonna
Attack
go
me?
into what happened to you recently.
Oh, this like
yeah, we should touch on just Sampreeth first.
sure.
And then his life,
Okay.
his background.
This is how big my topic is. It's just,
What the fuck is going
I
on?
guess
and
it's that big.
What the fuck Sampreeth's doing? You know, some more information on Sampreeth because we've been talking a lot, but we haven't heard from Sampreeth. And I feel like what people just heard come out of his mouth was kind of surprising. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, people are like, "Whoa, what?"
what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yo?
Shit, we talked about
Vasectomies
surgery.
and-
We talked about-
That's all that's heard. Eh?
you sound like you sound like a professional here right now.
So yeah, yo, like,
That's so funny.
can you tell us a bit about yourself, Sampreeth? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what's really going on right now for you? You don't have to go too much into your background, but like, what's going on right now with you? Like, what are you saying?
Yes, I'm basically in my 3rd year of medical school.
Yeah.
And so really my day consists of like working in the hospital most days. So I mean, it's pretty wild. I wake up at 5:30, drive down to Saga, work a full day, hit the traffic back and repeat,
guy.
rinse and repeat.
That's the life, eh?
No, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like pretty rewarding, a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Like there's so much
I feel like there's so many layers.
There's
you know
so
what I
many
mean?
things I could talk about. I guess I'll say that
What are you doing day to day?
on a
most
day to day, like right now I'm on psychiatry, right? So it's like 6 weeks of psychiatry. So I go in like for example today, I got in. I had some teaching in the morning, like for an hour. So like 8 to 9 I had teaching. We learned about like depression.
Yeah.
All the different ways to treat it, like the medications, like the things that will cause depression, risk factors, like whatever, things like that. And then you spend a couple hours, like 3 hours technically, even though you're always there longer, but like in the inpatient ward, basically in the hospital, there's like a psychiatric ward, all types of people with like suicide attempts, schizophrenia, bipolar, all types of stuff. So you read up on them, then you go see them, you ask them all the relevant questions like, oh, how are they doing right now? What kind of symptoms do you have? Do you have hallucinations? Are you suicidal? If you're suicidal, like, do you have a plan? Do you have intent? Like, what's your risk? Like, what's your history? And you read up on all that stuff. So you're really putting together like their previous history and then their like current state, and then you're establishing a plan for every single person you have. So it's kind of cool because everyone's different.
Yeah.
And you're hearing their life story, and
That's wild.
there's guys who like wife swapped like 20 years ago.
Jeez,
and like
holy.
all this crazy wild stuff that you're reading. It's almost like, oh, this is really interesting stories here.
Are you like seeing different people all the time, or is it just the same folks?
So that's the first half of the day. It's like inpatient ward. So they're in there anywhere from like, sometimes they're there for like 3 days because they get better.
Okay.
Some of them are there for like a month because you don't know what they have and the treatment you're giving them isn't working, and you thought it was schizophrenia, but it's actually bipolar, and that's why they're not getting better. But you learn over time because like the first time you meet them, they're like disorganized and what they're saying doesn't make sense, and it's actually like really fucked up because you're like, holy shit, this is how people can become
Yeah, exactly.
That's a tough
if
place.
their
some
mental
people
health
are
is not
dealing with,
managed.
yeah.
That's
and
a
there's-
tough environment to work in.
Yeah.
Is it mentally draining on you, or is it like something you just detach yourself from?
I think like to be honest, like it's week 3, so 2 weeks. I think every single day other than this week, so the first 2 weeks I got like teary eyed at
Yeah.
least once a day.
Yeah.
But it goes back to like the emotional regulation. Like I think as soon as I feel that coming in, I'm like, okay, good. Like I'm still here.
Yeah.
you're
I'm still human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel these things, and I'm like almost proud of myself. And then I'm like, okay, I can pull it back. So I never like break down in front of anyone or something like that.
No, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So
Yeah.
it is emotional, but yeah. I mean, the sad part is you eventually get used to it.
Yeah.
But you always, it depends on the person, but like the approach always for me is like you treat them with respect, you know, because
Obviously. Yep.
like it sounds obvious, but then you see it over and over, and it's easy to like walk down the hallway and have like a lady follow you,
Yeah.
and she's like saying like weird stuff to you, and it's so easy to just like not say anything
Yeah.
and just like use your
Ignore
key
them.
card to like walk into your private room and
Yeah.
done it off. But
Yeah.
obviously you have to always be cognizant of that. And like I always try to have those small conversations of like, what are you talking about? Like, how can I help you? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and it's always, you know,
Yeah.
so that's the first half of the day.
Yeah.
And then the second half is always something different. So it's like either working in the emergency department or seeing like adolescent health. Today I did like addictions. So I saw a bunch of like people with alcohol use disorders, drinking their lives away. And those are also like telling, because you can tell that they want to change, like, and it's not controllable, you know, and they're just searching for help and support. And you see all their like risk factors come into play, whether it's like sexual abuse as a kid or like, you know, being socially isolated or all those things, like having family history, or whatnot, you know, substance use, whatever. So those things all come into play. And then I usually like today, and it happens pretty often, like you don't have time for lunch because it's just like you see the patients, but you got to also like dictate, which is basically like you talk into a phone and they basically transcribe everything you say into a note.
Oh, okay.
And so I talk and I say like, these are the symptoms, like this is what I did, this is the plan. And so that takes forever because I'm not that good at it. And then that's kind of my day. So like today I finished at 7 because I actually finished at 5, but I had to do those dictations.
Yeah, you guys
and
handle
took a
all that
break.
other stuff.
Wow.
It's a lot of stuff, yo.
There's a lot of stuff
That's
there. Yeah. It's pretty cool though.
That's lit, though.
It's
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
It's
Like
definitely
it's
interesting.
it's another, it's, you know, it's a different type of experience for you to
Yeah.
go through, and then it just adds to your empathy and understanding.
Well, I think the main takeaway from that is you're clearly cognizant and aware of how this is affecting you in everything that you're doing, right? Like I feel like, especially something like medicine or like being a doctor, I feel like, especially where we come from, where people of color, like Indians, are like, you know, encouraged to do that, they might not ever take a step back and experience being a doctor the way that you're experiencing it, as just as a pure experience rather than it being the stressful thing where it's like, this is your career, you know. Like I feel people get too caught up in that, whereas you're just like, I'm in a hospital right now and I'm just experiencing everybody else. It's not about you yourself, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like we should take that in everything we do. It's easy for us to do that in art because that's art encourages that. It encourages us to look. But I feel like there is a place for that in every job where you can look at how it like reflects on your humanity and like your understanding of empathy. The word of the day today.
Yeah, I mean that's the key point, right?
The word
It's
is
like
day.
you ask like, what's like, how do you find the balance?
Yeah.
And obviously there's multiple answers to that. Like obviously the main answer is like, the honest truth is there's no balance. Like there's no balance. But one of the factors is like whatever you're doing, right? Like, yeah, you could talk about your side hustle and your main hustle, but like whatever you're doing has some relevance and has some importance in some way.
Feel you.
Right. And all it takes is conscious time to self-reflect on what that is. So if you do what you're doing and you're hating it every second, and then you come home and you go watch Netflix or whatever, like, sure, go ahead and do it. But then you go to bed and you didn't even think about what you learned that day.
1000%, bro.
Then you got
realize,
nothing.
A month passed, and you realize a year passed.
You got nothing.
And you realize that like a whole decade passed, and you never actually thought about you or what you're doing or what you want to do.
Exactly.
All you're doing is complaining about where you are, but it's like
That's why like I feel so happy with myself, because like when I was in high school, that's all I did, bro. Like I would just reflect on my day, like literally, that's what I told people I was doing. People would be like, "Yo, what are you saying after class, bro?" I'm like, reflecting. Like literally, I would tell people that, and it's one of those things that has just helped put everything in perspective for me. Like life overall, it's helped me figure out like what I want to do with myself, how I want to treat people, and how I would like to be treated by people or perceived by people as well. So yeah, that's a good little note there. Yeah.
Always time for self-reflection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's one of those things that's really important that people don't take too serious a lot of the time. Because I have a lot of friends that are too busy, or they're just, caught up in their own lives and doing stuff day to day. And I completely get it. But what I always try to tell people is, just take some time for yourself. Like, even if it's, I know it's hard, but like take it 2 hours, like 2 hours, and just maybe not do shit. Or if you feel like doing something, then maybe write, or, you know what I mean? Do something that's going to help make your mind work and think about yourself and what's going on with you. You know,
or
what I mean?
if the base thing is that you're not happy with what you're doing currently, like just take a step back and or like look into that and see what that means. Like why do you not like
why
it?
do you not like
Why'd
it?
you go into it? These aren't questions, especially when, I mean, you can talk to other people about it, but you're not attacking yourself. You're not, you're just trying to find an answer as to why is this something that I don't enjoy doing?
Yeah, man.
You know?
A lot of,
or why am I doing it?
You need a lot of time to reflect. I would sit after school for fucking hours, bro, and just chill.
Wow.
Like, just sit outside by the bus stop, and then I'd wait for a nice empty bus to come pull up, and I'd just hop on it and bump my tracks. But it's just like moments like that are what you need, literally, because I feel like a lot of people don't use that time. They just go home.
Yeah.
Well, that's true self-care. Like we live in this age of self-care.
Yeah.
Like that's real self-care.
Like that's what I preach. Like I'm just like, you have to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you have your job, you're stressed about your job, but you're not going to be able to make it to work if you're dead. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So if you're stressing out about this and that, and also like all these other things are happening, then you're not going to make it.
This is it. Like that. This is what you're doing. Like if you're complaining about your job that you spend half your day at, that's all this is.
Yeah.
You're doing this for the next 40 years. So
figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to really figure it out. But let's touch on some other stuff that you are doing.
Let me add to that then, because like we're talking about self-care, right? And also about like balance, right? Like balance between
balance is key.
whatever, school and art. And I talk about this a lot. It's like, we live in the age of like mental health, and we're trying to get there, and I'm on the wave. I feel you folks. And everyone has their own approach, but I think people try to sometimes like confuse the message. It's like, oh, take time for self-care every day, or like spend an hour for yourself every day. And like I try to stay away from that mentality as much as I can, because there's a spectrum, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna do things that are like really fun in the moment, and then and there's like resilience.
Okay.
Right. And so for me, the mentality, and it's really simple, is like, not every day is supposed to be really easy, and not every day is supposed to be really hard.
Exactly.
And it's okay if I go 3-4 days in a row and I got 5 hours of sleep and I got home late and I didn't get to do anything fun, and all I did was pack my lunch and my breakfast and I went to sleep, and I got up and I got back right to it. And it wasn't the most fun thing in the world, but every day is not supposed to have 30 minutes of me time.
Exactly.
Like, it's okay to work hard a little bit.
Yeah.
And yes, you should have time for yourself
There's balance.
at some point.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to come every day the way you want it. when you want it.
When you want it.
Because at some point you need to also, yes, you need to know yourself and take time for yourself, but you also need to develop resilience.
Exactly.
Right?
Facts.
You need to be in control of like whatever is presented to you in the situation. You know?
And that's why I was lucky again. That's why I'm happy I did that stuff in high school, because it's like I wasn't doing shit anyways. You know what I mean? So it's just like I was able to take that time away. I was able to take extra time just because I had it. But now obviously our lives are completely different. We're a lot busier. Like me, I work basically 6 days out of a week, and then one of my days I kind of have off, but I'm with my girl and stuff like that. So I try to fit in whatever I can, but it's just, you have to also, it's helped me, taking that time in high school has helped me build up that resilience and help me understand, okay, like, this is life. Like, this is how it's going to be sometimes. Like, you just got to take it a day at a time, yo.
Yep.
Just take it a day at a time. Like, that's how I try to simplify things. It's almost like, like, how you try to, like if you're at work or something like that and you say, okay, my shift is 5 hours long. Okay, it's 3 hours and 2 hours. Okay, that's like a movie. And you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I try to break it down, like day-to-day life. You know what I mean? Like,
that's so funny. I never thought about it like that.
That's how I always think about it. It's like,
as long as you're breaking it down to be productive.
I break down all my days. So like I'll get up. Okay.
Okay.
This is what's happening today. Okay, cool. I spend time like this. I can do this, blah, 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 blah.
That's sick, though.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I try to break up all my days. Even when I go to work, I'm like, okay, cool. I have a 5-hour shift. Okay, I can get in an hour. It's going to take me this time to get to work, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like
the top entrepreneurs do that. So
yeah, you just got to.
That's a good habit.
Bust down your whole day, bro.
Yeah. Like
it helps.
I read something, Elon Musk, he breaks his day down in 5 minutes by 5-minute chunks. It's really fucked. I don't even know how he does that.
I don't know if
he breaks. He's like, I have to achieve this in 5 minutes and then achieve this next thing in 5 minutes. It's insane. He breaks it down that specific.
When's he doing that? When does he have time for that?
Yeah,
he's doing engineering or whatever the fuck he's doing.
No, but like when
when's he making the schedule?
How is he breaking it down? I guess before. I have no idea.
He's like, I have 5 minutes to make the schedule of the day. Every 5 minutes.
Because that's taking at least like 2
I
hours.
feel that. It's like little
5 minutes.
He's like little tasks that he has to achieve. Like I have to get to this point in my like whatever I'm trying to accomplish over the entire day. I have to achieve at this point in 5 minutes, and then every 5 minutes. I don't know. It's really fucked, but apparently that's what he does.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like, not everything is gonna work for everybody. Like,
exactly.
We talked about this last week. Elon
Musk
is a different beast.
He's fucked.
Yeah, he's an animal.
I've heard
he's a
similar
rhino.
things. Not 5 minutes, but maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, everybody just kind of had to. You have to figure out your thing.
Yeah.
But to figure out your thing, you have to know yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got to sit down with yourself and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Man,
jeez,
it's been a very insightful, very nice pod today. Welcome again to the Lost and Talks podcast, the most lit podcast in North America's largest urban park.
so wild.
I feel like you're getting there.
I'm getting there. I'm kind of getting in. I only had to look at North America that time.
Yeah. You almost
and I was
got
like, wait,
that
I already
memorized.
know it's North America.
Too bad. You're probably gonna say it one more time, and then it's
I'm probably gonna say towards that I'm gonna fuck up, but we'll see.
No duplicates on that shit. I want it like different every time.
So our dear friend here, Ian.
You're making it seem so depressing, like
bro. Like
jeez.
You really went through it for a couple hours.
Yo, honestly,
I was feeling for him,
I was freaking out.
I thought we had to let you go. I thought we were gonna come to this pod today and be like, all right, well, Ian's not with.
Ian had to step down. Oh shit.
Ian unfortunately is not with us anymore. We appreciate his contributions to.
No, you can't even say appreciate.
Oh, we don't even appreciate that. He's scum.
We do not stand with him.
Shit,
we do not stand.
Oh my god!
Whatever.
Like that.
It's just we take out Don Cherry's name from when Sportsnet fired him and put in Ian's name.
We just released that same statement, yo. But Ian, our boy Ian, had a little situation go off on the socials.
Very weird.
A few days ago.
Very weird.
And I feel like this is something good to talk about, just because you aren't the only one that has gone through something like this, and you most likely. Whoa, what?
You mean here or
in the room?
Yeah, is that what you mean?
Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Oh, okay.
I had
fine.
one of those happen to me. I can't lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On Facebook, last year.
Like a
Oh, same
like a
way.
like your reputation's on the line type of thing, where it's like, but
Like
it's
someone
false.
made a fake
Really?
Facebook account under my name, but if you
Oh,
like,
wow.
there's a loophole. Like you can make a messenger account that's not linked to the Facebook account. Man stole my pic, everything.
Oh
Holy.
shit, they
Was
went that
hitting
far.
up people. With
Actually, I
the,
think
We can hear about that
Did you make
after.
a post about it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you
yeah.
did,
I
right?
remember,
Did
yeah.
I?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
did.
you were telling. You said, yeah, Mandem was
Man, that was
impersonating.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you. I think you asked. Yeah, I think you remember you asked me like, yo, did
Man's
somebody
pulled
send
up
you a
his
message or something? Yeah.
Really?
But
yeah, I was hitting up people apparently with just the the one word, hey.
oh, those ones.
Like things, like girls, like who was trying to?
I don't like. Yeah, I don't know. He was.
You don't know what they're trying to do.
Whatever.
Anyways, we can
It's a
talk about that
scam,
after.
yeah.
Let's go into mine. Mine's
Ian's
so weird.
situation's a lot better just
So-
because he had people involved that like
Oh,
are
like
crazy.
some wild shit actually.
Yeah, man. So anyways,
So
enough talking on my end.
Yeah.
Ian, let's get it. Bro.
so basically, this is how. Let me explain how I got like introduced into what happened, because I get this message. I think it was the incident happened on I found out on Saturday, so a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I got this comment on one of my newest photo, which was still, I haven't posted on Instagram for like a month, and they're like blah blah blah, like, why are you pretending to know this person? I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but I'm like, what? I don't know who this person is. Doesn't make any sense. I thought it was just a random spam comment that made no sense, so I didn't look into it. Then 2 days later, I get a DM from a model that I've shot with, and she's like, yo, like, this is bouncing. This is like kind of hovering around on Twitter. And I don't even have Twitter, by the way. I don't have a personal Twitter. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? So apparently this porn star, this well-known porn star,
A legend.
I don't know, a legend. I wouldn't say
He's
legend.
an up and coming legend. He
I'm
will
not,
be.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, as far as male porn stars go, and if you do the research, he's
top
like
5.
He's in the top 10
Right now.
He's in the top 10 in the
Top
world.
10 right now.
Really?
Porn stars,
Yeah.
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 Male porn stars.
You guys were saying the name. I can't lie. I didn't know who it was.
You'll know him if you saw him.
like if you saw him,
Okay.
he has distinct tattoos.
What are you trying to say?
His
Continue.
so
Me, you would know. him.
yeah.
this porn star named Owen Gray DMs claiming, sorry, not DMs, writes a tweet claiming that my Instagram account is pretending to know him and set up shoots with models. And he's claiming that like this person's like in person, like this person's like claiming they know me and I don't know who they are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? I've never DM'd anyone regarding this porn star ever. And it makes no fucking sense. And he screenshots my Instagram. So my fucking name, and my Instagram is my real fucking name. So my real name's on there.
That sucks.
And fucking a screenshot of texts, not DMs, but texts under a number that's not mine, saying that they're me. And I'm like, what? This person's claiming.
So scary.
Yeah,
Huh?
man.
That's so scary.
It's so weird. They're claiming that this is my Instagram, Ian.McGilvery, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, the model responds like, okay, like, what are we doing? And the person's like, oh, we're doing this erotica shoot with Owen Gray. And I'm like, and the model's like, oh, I've never done erotica, but I've done bourgeois. And like, okay. And they're like, I could tell the model's kind of sketched out by it. But like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never texted any model regarding this. Like, I don't even shoot erotica. I shoot like, erotica is like porn, by the way. That's like
lewd. You
like-
shoot like lewd.
I shoot like lewd, like nude porn. Like, sorry.
Whoa!
No, I shoot. my. I shoot,
So wait.
no,
Can we just confirm?
I'm kind of lit right
This
now.
was not you because you're not.
No.
Okay. Cool.
I shoot like nude bourgeois, basically. Like, suggested mostly.
Yeah.
Erotica's like you see genitals. Like, you couldn't post that on Instagram. So that's not what I do. This isn't my number. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. This is not my number. I have people DMing me and commenting saying like, you sick piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. How could you? A couple people did that. And then a few
Damn.
other people were trying to fact check. They're like, is this actually you? Because I think a lot of people didn't believe it either.
Yeah.
There's
Which is
because
good.
it seems kind of fake.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, like, if you look at the screenshot of the text messages, it doesn't seem kind of real. So there were a few people that luckily were like, is this actually you? They sent that to me. And I'm like, no, it's not. please tell them that like I'm being impersonated. This is not me. This is not my number. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to put it back because I know you're
Go
talking. Do you mind if we put up the screenshots or no?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Are we able to get those?
Yeah, just put up the DM. They're deleted now, so because we corrected it. Eventually, so what we did is those people that I think someone who DM'd me personally knows Owen Gray, or at least is like kind of associated with him, and they asked me if this is like is this you, and I'm like no, like I'm being impersonated. So then I guess they got in contact with him. And he corrected the tweet. Luckily, I got that done pretty quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say you handled that. You handled that pretty quick.
Because I was like freaking out for an hour. I'm like, bro, like what the hell?
Yeah.
Like I have to fucking. Basically, I was in a situation where I have to fight for my reputation, which is like complete bullshit. Because this isn't me. And yeah, so eventually you got the tweet corrected. He's saying, oh, he said Owen Gray tweeted, oh, like okay, the photographer's being impersonated as well. Just everyone be safe. I'm like, okay, cool. So what we also did is I actually called the number. So there's a number on the screenshot, right? So I actually called that fucking number. It's a Toronto number. It's a 647 number. So I called it, and this dude answers, and he's trying to tell me that he's getting calls and like threatening messages from everyone, and he claims that he lost his phone a week ago, and that he been trying to get it back. So he was calling it, and eventually a guy who found his phone answered, and he ended up having to pay him to get his phone back. Once he got his phone back, he's claiming that he started getting all these messages. So I'm not sure how much I believe that story.
Yeah,
whether I was actually talking to the culprit or it was just a guy who lost his phone and someone was using his number.
That's a hard one to
text random girls and pretend to be me. So
I don't know. How is this impersonator like texting people? Like,
see, that's why I don't understand either. Like, you'd have to know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Here's the thing. I don't know who they were texting to. I still haven't figured out.
Yeah.
Who, like, the female that they were texting, whether it was a model or just a random girl. I don't know where that number came from.
But it would have been a female or it would have been the model who screenshotted it, right? Or
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but she probably just sent it to Owen Gray.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Owen Gray, like, am I actually shooting with you?
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know who that is. All I know is the closest thing I got to that was one girl DM'd me saying her friend is the person that received those texts.
Okay,
that's wild.
So, but I never went farther into say who's your friend, blah blah blah. Like, I just didn't care.
There's no need. Yeah,
I didn't need to know who that is. I think it is a model, maybe like amateur model who's done some stuff.
But it's just weird that like you have the person's number, but then they wouldn't know that like the photographer's Instagram. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
exactly. It's so weird. It's like, how would you get a text from a photographer that you've never shot with before?
Or like met or know their name, you know.
It's so weird. There's so many things.
Unless they have a business Instagram account with their phone number on it.
That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, but how many people actually have that? You know what I mean?
Not a lot of people have that.
Not a lot of people.
Who wants to receive random
And then
calls?
like wouldn't you like if I did have my number on Instagram and someone texted me like, hey, you want to do a shoot or whatever? It's like, why don't you just DM me? You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I almost never text models, like obviously because I don't have their number first off.
Yeah.
And I don't even care to get their number most of the time.
Yeah, when I was shooting, I rarely got numbers.
Yeah. Unless communication was so poor or like they just preferred it.
Yeah.
And I don't even ask for the number. I just give them my number.
I'm
like, here's my number.
Text me.
And then if they text me back, now I have your number. Whatever.
Exactly.
I don't ask for their number, like just because whatever. People don't want to give out their numbers to random people on Instagram, which I get. So I try to keep it in the DMs, unless like we've built that like comfort where we can just exchange numbers. So, but yeah, it was so fucking weird. Like, I don't know where the hell this came from. I don't know. Like the person impersonating me is just like, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. I have no idea. I heard people DM me saying like maybe it's sex trafficking or some shit. Like it could be some scary shit like that.
And I'm happy
like
that
who knows what
it was solved. Again, that's why I'm happy it was solved so quick, because that could have been a lot worse. You know what I mean? It could have been something where they're luring females for sex trafficking.
The guy whose number was on the screenshot who I called, he said he sent all the information to the police. That's what he told me anyways. So I'm not sure. Again, like I don't know who to believe in this situation.
It's hard to figure that out.
Like he sounded pretty genuine.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a 42-year-old man. I don't have social media. But then I'm like, isn't that like kind of like the type of people to do that weird shit?
On the lows.
On the lows. I don't know what to believe, but it is what it is. But
That is wild, bro.
it's so weird. But yeah, like for a moment, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, why am I fighting for? It was total bullshit. Like I was just so cheesed because I'm like, why am I fighting for reputation where it's like I haven't done anything wrong?
Yeah, man.
And that's fucked up about the internet. Like,
yeah, anybody can
it's
be
crazy.
anybody, yo.
And like I started to think about how like big celebrities deal with this every day, like fake tabloids, fake rumors, blah blah blah. This person slept with this person. I didn't do that. This person's addicted to drugs, blah blah blah. Like celebrities deal with that every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked. So I got like a little taste of that. So
Yeah, this
it's kind of weird.
2 hours of fame
Yeah.
in the worst way. But
Yeah.
well, I'm happy you made it out. I'm happy we didn't have to draft up any letters to the public or any posts.
Shit.
But yeah, yo, make sure you guys are just, making sure that, everything's correct on your end when it comes to the business and who you're in contact with, who has your information.
Yeah.
Even though Ian didn't really do anything, it just like a person was just pretending
It's
to
like
be
literally
you.
like I text someone and be like, I'm this person. Like,
Yeah,
here's
you know what I
the
mean?
link to my Instagram. It's like,
You just gotta be. It's hard. You just gotta be fucking careful
Fucking
out here.
stupid.
You know what I mean? You gotta just make sure you handle all your business.
Yeah, I mean, and don't answer texts from random numbers. Like,
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
same time,
yeah,
we
yeah.
all have to do
Yeah.
our part.
Yeah, yeah,
so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not blaming the person who answered the text. It's just like that was weird though. Like,
I'm not
there was
sure.
A text conversation about a shoot with a photographer you've never met before,
With a photographer you've never met or had any
or
conversation.
clear, yeah, you don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
I'll throw this out here. I'm not putting any type of blame or anything like that. Let's all take the initiative, though. You know what I mean? So if you are a victim, not a victim, but if you are one of the females or somebody like that is going through that and you're just getting texts, maybe ask that person who you are texting, yo, send me a DM. You know what I mean? If you are this person, send me a DM.
If-
right
yeah.
now.
through the
especially
account you say you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Can you just send me a DM then? Can you send the information to my
Yeah.
DM?
Yeah, that's
If
true.
not, then fuck that. You know what I mean? Because again, Ian didn't know anything that was going on, and this is his account, and the person was just pretending to be.
Yeah,
him.
and I appreciate the model Ashley who fucking DM me like the Twitter, the tweet. 'cause
Yeah, that's good,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have
You
known
wouldn't
for
have
like the
known.
longest time. That would have been worse. I feel like if I
Yeah.
didn't know at all.
And the man's
For like
just trending in Canada.
Yeah,
like,
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I'm just scrolling through Twitter because Ian doesn't have this shit.
Yeah, and I don't even have Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah, no,
wouldn't
people
really
are
know.
talking about you in a platform that you're not even on.
I
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's
weird.
crazy.
That's
know. Yeah,
scary.
that's crazy.
I would be scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, what is trending today?
Yeah.
See my boy's
Ian
name.
McGillivray
What
trending.
the fuck did he do? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he do now? But yeah, yo, I'm happy. I'm happy that we were able to laugh about this.
Yeah,
though. Like, you
for
know what
sure,
I mean?
yeah.
Again, because this could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
And again, it was handled quickly. It's not like you found out about it weeks later or a month later. Imagine.
Yeah, I think it took me a day to find out. The tweet was about
Sucks.
12,
Yeah.
like 20 hours old or something.
Yeah, no, it's a
I
blessing.
figured it out,
yo.
but
Sounds like you kept your cool too.
Yeah.
Like, very efficient with it.
yeah,
good.
you know,
You
I was
gotta
like
be-
freaking out inside, but I was like, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
deal with this.
You got to handle it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
the thing. Because it's just like you could freak out, but that's just wasting time.
Yeah.
So this person was they were texting multiple models. with
See,
the same
I
thing, or-
only have
was it
proof
just the
of them
one?
using my name once
Okay.
through one screenshot,
Yeah.
and that's all I know.
Mm.
So, I mean, and at the same time, none of this would have blown up technically if Owen Gray didn't tweet about it either.
Mm-hmm.
So if the model didn't say anything and just ignored it, this wouldn't have never happened either.
Yeah.
But then again, like, who knows? This person could be faking it later in the
Yeah.
future. I have no idea, but
Maybe
But-
you want to touch base with the feds too. Just because
I was gonna say.
who knows? What if they have like an undercover op on these human traffickers, and it's just like
Yeah.
Ian's name is on the.
I mean,
You're
they're
on the
catching
list.
On the
they're
watch
catching one
list
every,
now.
like, week,
Bro,
so-
they're catching these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, watch these guys
Not
are
to
fucking
worry you,
sitting
not to
outside your
worry you,
house.
but
There's always this black
Yeah.
car sitting outside Ian's house,
see that?
and I'm wondering, like, I rarely see the car gone. You know what I mean?
yeah, like I don't know the intentions. It could just be simply trying to get nudes. It could be like that.
I would-
It could be that
Sampreeth,
scary
touching
shit.
with the feds just in case. Like if you feel like it, do
Maybe.
it. I suggest it. If you don't want to, fine. But just
Cover your
understand what the
bases.
consequences are if you don't, just in case. You know what I mean?
Shit. Fuck.
Just to pop in and say, hey, I'm not a human trafficker. Like everything's cool. You know what I mean?
But you also made it pretty. You made it pretty.
Yeah, I have
clear
all the
on,
proof,
social media.
like,
yeah. So yeah.
Check my number, like
Yeah.
what I've texted. Like,
Yeah.
that's not my fucking number. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
That's wild, man.
You also have the benefit of white privilege. So.
Okay.
Yo, Ian's not. That's so sensitive for him, yo. I'm not able to accept that.
I can't no. What, that I have privilege?
No. Like just race.
Like,
on this podcast.
Ian's pretty good.
Oh, why? I'm not comfortable talking about race.
Which is good.
There's a level. It depends on the extent of the conversation.
Sweat a little bit. It's okay.
He hears people of color on this shit. He's like, oh fuck.
I'm surprised it hasn't come up yet.
Literally,
Like, what?
everyone on this podcast is someone of color. Like almost everyone.
Yeah. No,
It's fine. Like I've grown up around people of color my whole life.
no, yo, you live
It's
in
chill. I live in
North
fucking-
America's largest urban park.
I live in Scarborough, Ontario. Like most white people are actually the minority.
Oh shit.
Pretty much. No, we are.
Drop the facts.
No, it is true. It is very true. You can't. That's not. Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
Can't
with
hide
you.
that.
No, yeah, you are.
It is what it is. But
We could take you down.
that's cool. That's
Came down to a race war.
Yeah.
That's-
In Scarborough.
We got us here.
Yeah.
When it breaks down everywhere else, I don't know, but
Yeah.
we're good here. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be like a little like a sub army of the Chinese army, but that's another topic for.
That's
later,
another
yeah.
topic. For later. We'll talk
we
about.
got into that one too.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think that's most of it.
Okay, great. What type of time are we looking at, Zach? 18. We want to do a quick one, a quick talk on the grants, or
Yeah. Go
Yeah?
ahead. Go ahead.
all right, yo. We're doing a hard segue on this.
This is a
Alright,
hard one.
segue.
There's no way you
From
can't really-
Owen Gray to grants.
Yeah.
Check out Owen Gray's work. Shout him out, yo. He helped out. He helped out the boy. He
He
helped.
did help me out. Like
He
he
did
was,
help you
he was
out.
a reasonable guy. Like
Yeah,
But he
yo.
also
you know?
jumped to conclusions.
see, that's the
though.
thing I
Yeah.
didn't like about that.
That's the one problem that
That's
a
the
lot
thing,
of
and
people
that's
do
why,
on this
like, I kinda
internet
hate
cancel
Twitter.
culture bullshit.
That's
you know
why I
what
kind of hate Twitter. Like I was like, fucking Twitter. Like if
Yeah.
this were to happen to someone, this would be on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
like
what happens.
just like a bunch of shit. Like that's where all the hate mobs come from on the
Yeah.
internet. Like
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah. And they'll hack your account. They'll hack your
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, like it's kind of fucking.
See, and
cutthroat
the
out
problem
there.
with that was like it's one thing when the screenshot is like clearly that person's Instagram or whatever, but it's like a number, like like
Yeah.
you should exercise a little bit more caution with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm glad like there was people that were skeptics.
Yeah,
From the
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
That's
So
good,
there was
You
people.
can always count on
People
those
came
guys.
in and they
Yeah, you
asked
can't,
me,
though.
"Is this you?" Like,
You can't. Yeah.
because like there was
can't.
people commenting saying, "Yo, "This doesn't seem legit." Like,
Yeah.
this
Well,
is such
because
a
that's-
generic ass
But
message.
because that's people like us, and
Yeah, yeah.
we're not the type of people to comment on stuff. I'm
Exactly.
not gonna be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, maybe.
Hey, I don't
Yeah.
think Ian did it.
Yeah.
But I had there was one more thing. I had a photographer from Toronto hit me up
Oh, yeah?
about the situation. He was giving me some advice on what to do and shit. Because he's been in similar situations. His situations were fucked. Like he was telling me how he's been impersonated before, but like this person was impersonating him in the sense where they were hitting up models that he shot with.
Okay, that makes more sense to
and,
do.
and like hitting up people that he knows personally,
That's
like
wild.
personal friends saying to shoot nude and shit. So it was like super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he hit me up and he's like, "Yo, like you have to clear it out. Like just say all the details to prove that you're not associated with this, because like all people do is read a headline or see a tweet,
and then they act.
and then they don't even read the fine print and they just think,
Yeah.
oh well, this guy's a predator.
Exactly.
So you're gonna have to clear it out. So there's
Again,
proof.
everybody
So-
involved in all situations is all just take the initiative to make sure that you are fact checking before you go and accuse people of certain stuff. Not saying that they aren't doing it, you know what I mean? But we have to make sure that we can confirm kind of at least with enough evidence that this person has done this stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, hard cut.
Yeah, I can't wait till I can get rid of social media.
Yeah, man.
To the point where
When
you
I
don't
can get
need
rid
it.
of my phone, yeah. Oh
like
my
where you
God.
like you're
Yeah.
on that you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the weekend, he doesn't
Yeah.
fucking need it.
Yeah.
He
You
just
don't need to post.
Yeah.
deletes it when he's not doing anything.
Yeah, now at this point it's still like a tool for us to actually, get some clout and stuff. But once we're up, like
Once I'm up, I'm off.
yeah. Nothing I've ever said in my life can ever be proven because it's never been written down. You know what I mean? Like everything's just all word of mouth.
You don't
Yeah.
got shit on me.
Yeah.
So again, fact check your shit.
Just watch yourself, Phil.
Watch yourself out here in these streets, man. Out here in these streets, out in the Twitterverse, bro.
Fuck yeah.
It's
Internet
it's a
Evil world, man.
Yeah.
It's an evil world we live in.
On the pod.
You'll hear it, whatever. Yeah,
I'll put it in.
whatever. But anyways, yeah. So we have been talking to you guys about grants and shit a little bit. We are still working on that YouTube video. We've just been getting a bunch of information, but we just wanted to touch on it a little bit because we have Sampreeth here, who's been able to get some grants. We got Kevin who's been able to get some, so we might as well, talk about it a little bit and Sampreeth's experiences and any type of, like a 1-2 keys for success or whatever you want to touch on, or any of your personal favorites, anything that you can, kind of rely on, or anything that kind of fits what you kind of want to put out, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We didn't get to touch on it too much, but Sampreeth's out here in the art game too. He has directed Kevin's music videos pretty much.
Yep.
You might know Make Me Move. I don't know.
If you don't, I don't know.
You're not even true fans if you don't
know what I mean?
like that.
So
They
that's-
didn't even listen to R&B too. We told them how many times. So.
You know what I mean? But that's why I don't bother with people, but whatever. Again, Sampreeth is out here in the hospitals and cooking it up and, with the doctors, but he's out here in the streets, doing his thing out here in Scarborough. The Wave Art Collective, the Wave program,
formerly known as.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. And let's touch on some grants. I know Ian's been doing some research, so if you want, you can hop into.
Okay, yeah. I've been writing a script. Anyways, go on. Yeah.
So when it comes to grants, do you mind giving us your best explanation of what the fuck a grant is for the people in the back?
Holy,
a basic us,
Yeah, I mean, okay, a basic us is just basically, there's various organizations in this city, this province, this country that provide money to artists to create work.
And Canada is one of the best countries in the maybe the best. One of the best, at least. I think
for grants. We understand. Yeah, it's one of the best. They have some of the most.
That's another
resources,
intro.
Believe it or not, and I feel like what we're gonna get to is not being utilized enough. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess and it spans different categories, right? So it's there's grants for visual artists, there's grants for musicians, there's grants for dramatic artists, there's grants for community arts organizations, right? So. That's kind of where my experience stems from, is one for visual art and specifically media arts, and then also creating a community arts organization. And there's different granting organizations in the city that provide grants for all of those different streams. And then I guess the big ones are, of course, the Toronto Arts Council, Ontario Arts Council, Canada Arts Council, and then a smattering of smaller ones in the city.
How did you get started in the grant game?
No other way to make money, really.
Yeah. How did you actually? I'm curious. How did you find out about it? Where'd you hear about it for the first time? Because I'll be honest,
that's the thing.
For me, it was through you. Deadass, it was through you.
Yeah, it's just you're kind of in this place where you want to create art, and
I think you were probably interning, right, at that time?
Yeah, I was interning, and I knew about Much Facts and stuff like that back when that existed at Revolver Films, which is a production company downtown. But honestly, I just Googled it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's just basically how it came about.
But that is a good point, though, that as easy as it was for you to find it, it is kind of hard to find it. Information. So, in the past couple of years, I think there's been a lot more information being disseminated. But back when we found out about it, no one was talking about it.
The grant game has blown up. When we applied to our first Artreach pitch grant, which is traumatic for us.
We still haven't talked about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's for
quietest ride from Kipling to Kennedy.
I don't even. Yo, chill.
We had to do the whole subway.
We had to do the whole line, bro.
Oh my god, I don't want to get into it, but I just can't believe
they're back.
You guys could be too good for something to not get it.
In silence, no friends. Yo, we're gonna pull up, yo. Don't worry. Sick, we're gonna be able to get a ride back at least. Yeah, on the train.
chill,
on the
chill.
longest train ride.
longest
ever.
We could get to that on another day.
Yeah.
There's too much gold there. Anyways, like that application we submitted it didn't look real.
Yeah.
We're like, is this legit? You can get $5,000? What?
Yeah.
Um,
That's actually hilarious because now that's nothing. But yeah,
Yeah. Now it's
yeah.
like, oh.
yeah,
So yeah, and then like there's a lot to talk about, of course, but like when you're if you're an artist in this city, I think especially in Scarborough, you almost get forced to also work in your community, like have that piece. And as soon as you do that and you like set your feet into the sand, so to say, you get that network of like people telling you where the grants are and what these organizations are, right? So it's like the big three I told you about, but there's also like Q, shout out to Q, give out like micro $1,000 grants. And then there's Outreach, who's always been super supportive.
yeah. And organizations like Q, well, maybe not in recent years, but they start out as like giving you these grants, but then also like taking you through the process of like writing the grant. So it's not just about the money itself. It's actually like they're preparing you for like writing the grants. So
Yeah, it's like an entry level grant
Yeah.
to maybe bigger grants.
Yeah.
I like to.
it's like it's like also like a
Yeah.
trial run too, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Outreach has like a lot of good documentation. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of like, really, are you going to sit down and take the time and invest in reading this 30-page document that really is going to tell you how to answer
Yeah.
these questions, right? So, lots of good materials on their website. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what kind of grants are. They basically give you money to do work.
Yeah.
And for me, why they were important is not only just the money, because the time you spent on $1,000 grant, you can probably work your part-time job
absolutely,
and make that
yeah.
money. But it's also, who knows if this is true? I believe it's true that it legitimizes you as an artist, right?
1,000%. I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think the other thing too is it gets you to ask important questions about who you are and just the process of writing grants, like from personal. I feel like it happens to everybody where like once you write a grant, like it really lets you dig into who you are, and you definitely learn a lot more about yourself, you know. And like it only helps every time you do a grant. It feels easier to write the next one, you know, when it comes around again.
And that's how you tell like a true artist from a fake. And I don't want to make general statements, but you're a lot of guys who are like have all these crazy ideas, and you try to poke some holes into their motivations for things, and they don't get it. They don't have any reasoning.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like some artists work from a visceral space, and they don't understand why they're doing things, but it comes out beautifully. But
Like
you have to be able to articulate your ideas somewhat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
even like there's been songs I've made where like I was just whatever, it's like almost half a freestyle, but then later on I was able to see, you know, what it meant to me, and I'm like, oh, this was it wasn't just me freestyling, you know, it actually was something coming from it came from it might have been subconscious, you know. And I feel like there's always always got to be something about you and your artistry or a message in it, no matter what, right?
What was like one of the grants that really, you know, like really changed stuff up for you, if you want to use that word, you know what I mean? Like what was the one that like, kind of really helped out, you know?
Yeah, I think the first two that I applied to, the Q grant and the low key Lyft grant, their equipment grant, those switched up the game because I ended up getting them, and I was like, oh, okay. And you know, it's always hard as an artist because you need work on your resume to get grants and to feel confident in applying something, and obviously you need money to whatever. It's that, you know, chicken and egg type of thing. So as soon as I got that one off of sheer just like good writing, you know, and good concept and not the strongest resume, I was like, okay, sick.
Yeah,
I can do this, and it's just persistence.
I think that was a big thing too for people like us complaining about lack of resources, lack of money.
Yes.
We got to literally put our money where our mouth is, like, okay, we have the ideas, and that's what grants are. Is like you getting to put down your ideas for money. So it's like there's no more excuses at this point, you know. Either you are somebody who's plugged in, or you're somebody who's just starving and you got those good ideas. And guess what? There are like there are grants for that. So like, you know, like there's no excuses as to like why you wouldn't be able to get something on the ground, especially with the entry level grants, right?
Yeah.
Did you have anybody like helping you with the budgeting for these grants and like trying to figure it out? Yes, you've already told them how you are going to be spending the money, but was there ever a time where you had to kind of like switch stuff up or anything like that?
I mean, so some background here is just like Kevin and I, like we give regular like grant writing workshops at the youth program that we run. And that's kind of new this year. So we're still working on it. And the reality is, you know, the knowing of a grant is one thing, knowing how to write a grant and being successful is another. And the problem really for like disadvantaged, vulnerable people of color populations, right, is that information, that core information of how to actually complete these things is like hidden from us. And so like what's important for us is how do you like disseminate this knowledge so that they have the basis to work with? Because in answering your question, like I didn't know what a budget looked like. I didn't know how to make it look good. And I think I'm bright, and I think we should all have the capability, as I said, to be able to understand the concept of a budget and know how it should look. But really, like, yeah, no one helped me. I Googled like accounting budgets, right? So you pull these things from different places that aren't in the arts, and I think that's why I ended up developing like my grant writing capabilities, especially from that perspective of budgets. It's just like I was taking like accounting budgets from like other shit that wasn't arts, and making my budget look like one of those, so that when they see it, it's like, oh,
This looks legit.
this doesn't just say food $500, equipment $1,500. It's like account number. This is like this is the specific thing that I'm renting. This is how much it costs. How many days I'm renting for. Blah blah blah. This is the discount. This is the in-kind amount. This is where I'm getting it from. And this is the details of exactly what it is. And here's my list of 15 pieces of equipment down to like the Apple boxes or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. And so you kind of acquire those things yourself. And at the end of the day, you have a sense, right? You're like, oh shit, this looks sick. This looks tough. Like this person looks like they know what they're doing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just was like, yo, yeah, you have a sense.
That's the thing. As much as there is like a rigidity and like rules to how to write a grant, there are those little things where it's like it might help you to not know the rules because you're working outside of those elements. Like that's how I feel now. Earlier I was kind of like sticking exactly to like how it should be written, but now it's like a little bit more free form where like I'm like, yeah, this isn't necessarily needed, but like I'm gonna throw it in there because it's hot, you know, something like that.
I was gonna say, what would you say is like, if anybody was trying to come into the grant game and stuff like that, since again, it's becoming more of a known thing in the community overall, a lot more people are finding out about them. I wouldn't say they're necessarily getting them yet because they're still kind of learning. But like, what would you say is one thing that people should pay attention to when either applying or writing or even getting a grant?
Two things.
Two.
Maybe more in the future. I haven't completely thought this out. But like the one obvious answer that surprisingly isn't done is, and Amar, my mentor, told me this the other day because like I received a grant and he was like, oh, that's surprising. Like they don't usually give out grants to narrative films, which they don't. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. The script wasn't even that good. And he was like, to be honest, like it probably wasn't the script. It's the actual content of the grant, like how you justified the idea. And the point I'm making is that when you write a grant, like read about the organization you're writing it for. Like they have their goals as an organization. They have their priority groups. If they support people of color, then that's one of their grant criteria, you know, like that will be a checkbox.
Sorry, can I hop on that quick?
Yeah.
That is very important for people to do. Like, I haven't even thought about that. Yeah. So, like, understanding who you are, like Kevin was saying, and in the best way, taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Understanding that I am a person of color or I am from the LGBT community or so and so or whatever, right? So you can take advantage of specific grants and understanding how you can implement who you are into their program.
Yeah, like specific grants will have like their specific guidelines, but then like Toronto, Ontario, and Canada they do cater to those.
That's true.
At what do you call them? Priority groups.
Priority groups.
Priority groups.
OAC. They call them that.
Always know
Yeah.
which ones of those you fit into, because you're always gonna, in every grant you're gonna need them.
Yeah.
Generally, I think all of us fall into at least one.
Yeah.
If anything.
I don't want to make it sound like it's a finesse, but like this stuff helps. Like you understanding that you are a person of color or whatever is going to help you get these grants, and making sure that you talk about, where you are coming from. It helps.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems with it, right? Like, you don't want to be, like you don't want to be, like a lot of people of color express that problem as in saying that, like I'm only allowed to make work about people of color as a person of color.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's another story.
But it's, again, at the end of the day,
it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
And we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say?
You had 2 points. So you had So what I meant to say is, and sometimes it's not super obvious. Like something I learned after talking to multiple people, going to these like grant speaking events, was just like, the media arts for the arts councils, like they don't love to support like narrative traditional film projects. They're an arts organization. They want more like esoteric, cutting edge type of things that are more like fundamentally like artistic as opposed to like film, like because they're trying to support independent artists, right? So as people who want to make like narrative film, you kind of have to come up with an idea that you can spin for what they need,
what they're looking
for,
which helps because it makes you make sure you're not just making another traditional film, right? Because when you're wording it or when you're writing the application, you're finding ways so that it is unique or it does stand out or have some sort of merit for the arts organizations. Right?
And like I'll give you a specific example. Like when I applied to Artreach for the youth program we run, I read through their entire booklet, and it's been some time since I wrote it, but there's specific things I took in. Like they wouldn't ever call anything a program. They would always refer to it as a project. It's so weird. And like I remember it said like, it's like this isn't a program. Like we don't support programs. Like we support projects. I'm like, what does it matter? Yeah. Okay. And then I remember saying they had a specific point about like, we're really interested in like your personal story and how you're connected to the place, and we're also interested in like statistics. So use both. So I would do that. I would say like, I grew up in Malvern. I had these experiences like trying to get from point A to point B and not having money or whatever it was. And then I would also drop the stats of like whatever 90% of people living in Ward 25 are visible minorities or something, and that was straight from the Artreach booklet. And I applied and I knew it. Like when I put in the application, I was like, if this isn't going to get it, it's not making sense. But it did, because literally I'm just meeting their criteria.
It's almost like if you're even just applying to a job, you know what I mean? And you do your research on that place. Let's say, for example, like Shoppers Drug Mart. I remember I even applied to Shoppers Drug Mart, and what I did was I used the word optimal a lot.
That's so nasty.
You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
Optimal.
I'm out here getting interviews and shit. You know what I mean?
Shit.
But that's what I would do. For a lot of the jobs, I just go onto their website, or I just check out their careers page, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just see what they're looking for, and you just add that shit to your fucking resume. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time the answers are there. Yeah. It's just about making sure that you actually see what they're looking for, and try to figure out how you can work your way into that system as well.
There's no time. I know artists sometimes have this mentality, like there's no time when grant applications to be on your high horse. Like, sometimes you gotta give in to whatever they want. Give it to them. Exactly. And once you get the money, do what you will.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's true finesse.
Yeah. Right? There's that balance between making, having it be a productive experience for you to like actually work out your project and I like visualize it or whatever. But then it's also just like make sure you just try and secure the bag, like don't stress too much about like, oh, this isn't like really my true vision.
Who I am.
Yeah, no, like, just like get the money and then do whatever you want
for a second.
Yeah.
Deal with it for a second.
Yeah.
'Cause in the long run, this is going to work out for you, and you can still make it work the way that you want to.
And you will be surprised that, in fact, you end up being quite genuine.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, the first year or two, I thought I was bullshitting all my grants, and then now it's like, oh, yeah, no, this is actually what I...
Oh, shit, this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then point B, I guess, is like an addition to that. Like, so you're going to look at the program criteria and figure out how you can fit your idea into that box, right? The other thing is, and this is more of a critical thinking piece, like, and it's really hard to describe, but just take things one step further than the most basic level. And I'll give you a specific example, right? So, like the last OAC grant I submitted, it was like, okay, people of color, Scarborough, like they're gonna love this. And I don't think it's enough to just fall back on that anymore. Like it's not enough to say you're gonna make a work about people of color, and this isn't done enough in media, and so that's why this project is important. Like that's, I think, the most surface level, and it might have worked and it may still work, but it's not gonna wow people because they're gonna get 20 different applications that said the same exact shit. So it's like, how do you take it to the next level? So for me, what I did was I was like, yeah, okay, this work is about all that stuff, but it's also about, this film's about brown and black guys speaking to each other, and it's about not making it this like race war against white people. It's about like, and I use the words like disaggregating the experiences of people of color. So it's about not grouping us all into one people of color thing. It's about saying, oh, this like brown person and this black person are having this conversation, and they're actually realizing that, yeah, they're both marginalized, but in very different ways. Right. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, how do you take your idea, which fits into this box, and just elucidate it more?
I get you. Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like a university essay, like the end is where you get the thesis, and it's like you gotta push through those first couple layers. And you might have to like start writing the grant, then you keep peeling and peeling, then you're like, okay, this is the core of what I'm trying to get at. You start from something simple, but then you get into something a little bit more, meaty.
What are some of the? No, that's not even a good one.
Maybe I'll say, I guess there's one more thing I was going to say. All these grant organizations, most of them usually post like who received the grant. Oh, yeah. Right. What the statistics were. Like I just took an L on the TAC this year, which is like whatever.
Yeah.
And I think like there's 20 recipients out of 100 and something. It's not. It's like I think 20% is.
It's solid.
Bad.
That's not bad,
I'm like a little bit less than 20%.
There's others that are far worse.
I'm like, oh, true. Like I can be 1 in 5. Yeah. Sure. And the point there is just like, don't get discouraged. Like a lot of people just apply to one and they're like, I'm done. I'm done. It's like, nah, I took a whole lot of L's. Exactly. If you see my TAC history, it's like every single year there's an application, there's an L. Yeah.
Plus the other thing too is, I think I brought it up before, but like you could literally reapply the same
thing and get it
because it's different juries every time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Different juries. It's like the artistic merit. It's almost, some of it's based on opinion.
It's all subjective, right?
It's all subjective. Yeah.
One person might be on the jury and they really love this stuff, and they're like, "Yo, this guy needs to get it."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. Exactly. Can you talk a little bit more about the grant for the program, or whatever?
Just make 1.2. Yeah. So the juries for these grants, they're just regular, like they're artists. They're
artists, and they pick them geographically.
But like they're not like these like full time like objective. No, like I know the rules in and out of this grant. They're just like
I actually met a guy who was a jury. He lived in Thunder Bay because they usually pick. I think they have an office up there, so they picked him. He picked him. He was on the jury for 1 year. I think it was for music. actually.
Oh, okay.
So I don't remember what year, but yeah, he was telling me a bit about the process. I can't remember, but I'll just say, yeah.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, your stuff doesn't resonate with somebody from Thunder Bay, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've been talking, like I said,
Yeah, yeah.
Scarborough like 40 times in my application, and
Yeah.
a man from Thunder Bay is reading it. It's like, yeah, it's not
Doesn't
going to
know
connect.
what the hell Scarborough is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yo. With the grants, it's just like, yeah, just make sure you keep on trying for them, because again, it's not necessarily just you, you know. It's sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's the person on the jury.
Yeah. Also, like, it's if 20% is like a good, it's like good, then that means like 20% of your applications
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
gonna get submitted. If you are good, then 20% of your application. And I think I'm probably at like a 1 to 6 or something ratio or something like that. You know, so like, yeah.
Over time, you kind of figure out what you kind of have to do. It's almost like it's like almost like doing your homework correctly. You know what I mean? And you're making sure that you're kind of writing your essays, or again, relating to school, just writing your essay or writing your exam, and making sure that you're consistent with all the information that you have picked up from all the research that you've already done, and putting it down on paper and reflecting what you want to get across correctly.
Yeah.
Only thing I say though is that with grant applications is that you actually most of the time don't know what you did wrong. That's
Right.
That's a tough one. Yeah, it's true. They don't give you. Zach said that they don't give you maybe enough feedback on what you did wrong.
Yeah.
So you might be kind of guessing as to what.
That's true. Yeah, because I just took an L2 from TAC, and it's like I'm looking at my I'm thinking about my application all the time basically, and I'm like, for the next cycle, I'm like, should I rewrite it or should I just apply it again? I'm like, I thought it was hot, but I'm like, you know, it's like you get in your head, but yeah.
I think the only thing they can give you feedback on is structure.
Yeah,
But in
that's
terms
the only
of,
thing
but like with
I've
most
received
of it
feedback
being
on it
artistic merit and like almost subjective, like you said, it's kind of hard to give feedback in a sense, I think. Sometimes,
And that's
right?
why the best way to spread this knowledge is to look at successful applications.
Yeah.
And the problem is no one wants to share that shit.
Yeah.
No one wants to
Exactly.
share it. Like
Yeah.
the most you have is like they at least they show you who won or who got it.
Yeah.
You can kind of look at what they did, but you're not gonna get all the information. Like so
Exactly.
someone to share it would be great.
Put up that fake
yeah.
number.
Someone.
Get a whole PDF.
That's so
Put up
nasty.
that impersonator's number. I'll swing you my grant with Owen Gray.
The Owen Gray grant. Yeah.
We've started to share ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the best way to go about it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because it is kind of when you just like hand somebody your grant and they're not really like familiar with it, they might not actually get anything out of it.
They might not. Yeah.
And then again, that's why we're trying to like make this video so that we can.
And
kind
also
of, like,
because
break
sometimes
down
it's
that
like
shit.
sometimes it's very like simple points.
Yeah.
Like, I think like the first workshop we had was like, you know, answer the question. You know, the question that they provide you, like answer it the way that, you know, answer everything you need to answer in the question.
Exactly.
Because usually with the questions, there's like multiple like things that they're asking you. So it's like, make sure you just check off all those things. Or like always ask for the maximum amount. You know, like that's not something that you would know unless you're just in circles or
Yeah,
whatever.
people
So
don't.
Well,
like,
there you go,
yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
call the grant officer.
Yes.
Are they going to give you new information? Probably not.
Call them.
Is there a choice? Or is there a chance, that they will? Yes.
Yeah.
And like they know
Try
who
and
you are.
try and grab every advantages that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
do whatever, not do whatever, but you know, try to finesse. Like you got to finesse your way into figuring out how you can structure your grants consistently so that you have better chances at getting them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Again, it's just figuring it out, doing it, taking your L's, and then trying to build upon them.
Yeah.
And use those losses as lessons just for the future. You know, almost like anything.
And I guess I'll mention like shout out to Q because they obviously only $1,000, but they kind of make you actually get a mentor and like have someone edit your thing and provide feedback. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
yeah,
All right. Fuck, yo. Anyways, yeah, that was a quick Grant talk. We were just talking some shit while we took our break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't even remember where we were.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Grants, yo,
Fuck
Grants,
it, yo. Whatever. Grants.
Get
Get on your Grant game. We will be
yeah.
dropping a YouTube video very, very soon. Ian's working on getting all the information, working on the script
Yeah,
and everything
and
like
YouTube
that.
have
Just
to
know
be-
you could buy the whole package for just a small cost of $30.
Yeah.
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 We should just sell the video. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly, and
No,
we're
no.
forcing-
We're kidding. We're kidding. Now it's
No,
free.
you're talking about it, and I'm like,
Free
yeah.
information. Free information.
You know those ones where the beat makers, they're always just like,
Yeah.
like you could buy the whole package
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, get it on our Patreon.
Or we offered like not like a grant writing service, but like we'll look at your grants and like edit, because I don't want to write your grant, but
Yeah.
like I'll edit it
Yeah,
and
that's
like
not a
give you
problem.
tips and stuff for 5% or something.
I mean, that is a thing. Like, we didn't even talk about it. Like, people
Yeah.
do pay.
People
those
do.
grant-
Hey, yeah,
those
that is
grant
another
writers
answer.
are
People
an actual
do
thing.
write
Yeah.
grants
Yeah,
for
yeah,
people
yeah.
as well.
We
I
didn't.
don't know a lot about that hustle.
I don't
yeah,
know-
I
don't
haven't
know
really
about
looked
it
too much
either.
into it.
I feel like you guys
I mean,
could probably at least do an editing of
you
it.
two would be. You could do that
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
My biggest thing is, and the reason I've never looked too much into it is just because I'm like, okay, I gotta compile all the information about myself and send it to them.
Yeah.
Or like, if you are a grant writer, like vice versa, like they're already giving you this information, and then it's like you gotta have a conversation. It just seems like there's so much going on where it's like, I don't know how there's no way that the applicant or the musician or whatever writes it, because like you're a grant writer, like that's what you're supposed to do. So it's like I can see like editing, like that makes sense to me, but the whole like
Writing it?
because it's so personal. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I
it's-
thought
yeah, it's
too.
a
I
little
didn't
weird.
understand that.
Maybe
part of it.
maybe that's just because that's us, and like
But then again, it's
our
almost like
voice is so connected to
If you were
like,
like writing a book for your man, you know?
yeah.
That's true. People
Yeah.
write their own like they get someone to write their biography.
You know? If you
Right.
will.
You know, if we were business savvy, we could probably make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
for
We
sure.
are business savvy. And
I
we will
mean,
be making lots of money from this shortly.
We're. I'm for the people.
That's what
I'm for the
saying.
people, too.
I'm down to give. Just,
I'm
like,
for the
free,
people, but you're trying to tell me
valuable-
mans will have $30?
Yo, for a rack, for 5 racks,
For 5 racks? You can't send me you can't send me at 30? You bought weed today. You bought 3 grams of weed. I'm talking shit though. We're for the people, yeah. Anyways, I'm talking shit. But yeah, yo, we're gonna be working on a video. We're forcing you guys to be in it, so we'll let you know when that happens.
You guys have gotten grants.
Yeah,
It's only
no,
fitting.
I
Like,
kinda- I
we
was
haven't
thinking about
actually
doing
gotten
this
OAC
too.
Yeah.
grants, so I feel like I can't just sit there and be like, "This is how you do it."
Because we already have a structure. I feel like
Yeah.
if we made a PDF too, let's like.
Yeah, like I feel like we can create some hot shit and
Yeah.
people are just gonna
This.
eat it up, bro.
Yeah.
And then all it does is it just helps with everything that's going on with
Empower.
us
Yeah.
and everybody, and people look to us as like, yo, these guys helped out. They're giving out the actual information. You know what I mean? They're feeding the streets.
because
That's
that
all
information
that's what
doesn't
it's all
exist. It doesn't
about,
exist.
It's about
If
feeding
we
the
can get
streets.
to a
No.
point where like, imagine like we only accept people at Wave who've gotten the grant, but we've gotten them there, like
Yeah.
But then if you don't get it, then you're not in. But then once you get it, then we help you make the project too, you know.
Jeez.
And then we don't even need to fund it anymore because they have the money.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
talk about
okay.
this. We should
Shit.
figure this out. Yo.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna have some
It's like
stuff
the
coming up
program.
soon,
It's like
yo.
the grant program for the people who get the
Yeah.
grants. You know, it's like what happens afterwards.
Exactly. But anyways, yo, this was a great pod, boys. Great job. Nice solid talks. We got, the word of the day was empathy.
Yeah.
Don't forget it. Please understand empathy.
Like look it up. Like,
Look it up.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like people sometimes I didn't really need to know the difference between sympathy and empathy until I think I saw it on like Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Like
Very important.
Yeah.
A lot of people lack it.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys are fucking assholes. But it happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
You were born that way. Anyways.
Genuinely, yeah. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, it's not now.
Some people are born with it, without it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
They're called psychopaths.
Oh, facts.
But
That's also a good thing to
let's-
note is the
yeah.
identifying characteristic of,
Yeah.
of like serial
Yeah.
killers is their lack of empathy.
Yeah.
So think about that the next time you
Holy shit.
don't think about somebody.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, this was the Lost and Talks podcast, the most lit podcast in North America's largest urban park. I killed it.
Yeah, you nailed it without looking.
Yeah. I was gonna pick up my phone and I was like, nah.
Took it
you
like
got
3
this.
hours.
Believe in yourself, folks. You can do anything. Again, thank you, Sampreeth, for stopping by. We're gonna have you again whenever you're free again.
Of course.
Again, you're basically part of the podcast. So you're just doing your thing. So feel free to stop by whenever you're up the street. Do I have anything else to say? Oh yeah, December 19th, get your tickets. We hit 100K. RIP Juice World.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
And yeah, I think that's basically it. Oh, check out the Lin list. Get your people on the pod. And get to writing those grants. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's
I think.
That's it.
All right.
Oh, you know,
Oh, Ian, do it, man. Go for it. This is the Lost and Talks podcast.
the most lit
The
podcast.
most lit
We
podcast
need to change that. But
in North America's largest urban park.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Rouge Park, by the way.
The Rouge. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.